Alright, there we go. Welcome back to D&D on the Ironheart Merchant Company while you listen to James in the background struggle with himself. As you hear the light panting and heavy breathing, as I explained what happened last time. Thank you. Alright. We return back to the Ironheart Merchant Company, session 31, an icy experience. Last time we left off, the party was in the city of Dragon's Crown, where after starting up without a rollman, the party decided to do a little bit of work in town, heading into town with the goal of settling up on hopefully Rollman's child support and the dealing with the Aussie clan, as well as collecting a few items and selling a few items. The party would find themselves accompanied by a young captain, a kobold that they had met, luckily enough, in the city of Diamond's Death previously. With his assistance and the assistance of another guard, the party would head further into the Nobles District under watch while the big slave-a-thon was going on throughout the entirety of the city. With people being picked up and grabbed and dragged away, the party deemed it necessary to need a somewhat of a guard while they were walking through the town so they wouldn't be captured, mostly so James would not be captured. As the party head towards the Merchant Guild in Dragon's Crown, that here James would not only sell the status plate, but sell the royalties to it, getting himself the ability to continuously earn an income while this item is put into mass production. Meanwhile, while the party decided to go from there to head back towards the main Adventurers Guild to pick up a few items after being told that only dragonkin or draconic creatures were allowed within the city's main academy, the 9 Towers of Dragon's Crown. With the help of Melvin and a quick disguise, one of the guards would help the Melvin manage to sneak in while the rest of the party continued back off towards the Adventurers Guild and back into the main part of the city. With Melvin becoming the Lord Melvin, or was it Melvin? I think it was. Yes, it was. Actually, I've hit my notes here. Lord
Yes.
Melvin managed to convince the gal at the front desk to not only let him get a hold of the scrolls that he'd been assigned to get, but also managed to learn a few bits of information about some of those who were in the city and what was going on. Though, after convincing the lady to not report on Lord Melvin's position and what he was up to, he managed to sneak his way out without managing to get caught with the usage of the guard and a quick thinking of an outfit change. As the two would head towards the main gates themselves, the party would, as a group, return back towards the Adventuring Guild with a minor inconvenience from a beholder creature that was noted to have gotten out, putting the party a little bit on edge with the concern that Melvin could be captured at any moment. Though, put at ease after seeing the creature and its terrible disguising ability, the group managed to spend the rest of the session drinking with the Hago, the Adventuring Guild leader, after getting a couple of minor purchases out of the way, and then quickly passing out. With that, we ended session, and in between sessions, the party has spent the last 6 weeks or 5 weeks? 5 weeks.
6 weeks.
6 weeks.
6 weeks. It was 6 weeks. Thank you. The last 6 weeks, flying about from Dragon's Crown, using the portal that was hidden in its black market to go to Diamond's Death, and then to arrive in Velcomen, leaving Little Scarf behind to negotiate still upon on Rollman's behalf with the Aussie clan. The group would spend their downtime split, and then eventually arriving there on the 19th of the Darkened Moon, or February of the year 65,008. We return after you've all had a bit of downtime, about the 6 weeks relaxing, kicking back, enjoying yourselves, some of you training, some of you hunting, some of you shopping, as you had been doing so for the last, out of game 2 weeks, in game 6 weeks. You all now find yourselves in the city of Velcomen, the ship, not there, actually. You all staying at the inn of. Let me find my notes here. Ba, ba, ba. Oh my god, we didn't. That's the one thing I never got from Velcomen was the name of the inn. Okay, my apologies. Give me a moment to come up with. Actually, with you all managing to. With James having convinced the Woodwalkers to take on the option of building up the ship and working on it, the rest of you find yourself staying in the Merchant Guild right outside of the Academy. The Cold Thorn. Or sorry, the Borealis Guild, ran by Gull Woodwalker, one of the four points of the Academy's major tower or spire at the center of the city. Um, you've been set each in your own rooms with large accommodations, almost what looks to be master suites. Very thick woven wool. Yeah, and with armoires seem to be made from the finest of woods. Mirrors set up for you, a full tub and basin that seems to heat of its own when water is poured into it. You lot have been living quite comfortably. Since last, with James having already told you all that he has put in a request for an estate to be built in his name, and to set up temporarily while you all are kind of here staying at the in the city. You all join now in the bottom floor of the Merchant Guild. What looks to be a small section set off to the side for those who are prominent members of Velcomen's merchant organizations. Many what looks to be wealthy raiders and merchant frost giants and kobolds walking around about in the finest of thick silks as they do so. You lot find yourselves kind of sat off to a table on your own. A large buffet-like setup off to the far side. A couple of other tables with other merchants sat at them, and a couple what looks to be a wait staff that seems to kind of come out and set out food every once in a while to update the buffet as they see it get empty. But you lot are kind of set to yourselves, plates of food already kind of sat in front of you, and what looks to be a hot, like tea-like drink that has been provided as you lot kind of gather together. Cinder, Melvin, Roloman, and James.
All right.
Roman, did you leave the payment for Telawasi back there with?
What'd you say?
Did you leave the payment for your child with with either Little Scarf or Telawasi?
In the process explained, that was the last step. That takes several hundred years to complete.
Wasn't the little one discussing leave without doing all that?
Yeah.
I'll have to get that to him then.
If we go back there and there's a wanted poster for you, I'm not turning you in, but I'm not hiding you either.
You could always just send a runner to do it at some point.
Yeah. That's not today's issue, though, is it?
No, we're going to be taking on the job for the Sabertooths, I do believe. Looking at what we can do here.
All right. Let's see what we're working with. Let's see what.
Having grabbed a couple of the quests when you lot arrived in town, I would say at this point you probably have all four, or a copy of all four of them, kind of sat out as James sets it out in front of you lot to look over. You see the Sabertooth Sins, the Cult of Souls, the Walrus Wobble, and the Ice is Moving, ... question mark.
You're prepping for animal hunting? Or
I think we have all we really need right now for it.
I think we're probably going to ask the farmers questions, right? About what mutation they supposedly have.
Yeah, we should. We could. Well, we don't really have anything extra to grab right now for it. We do have the cages still, though, on the. Well, if we can get access to the hold of the old ship.
We're not taking them
If we
alive.
wanna-
Yeah.
No, I was
It
saying if
doesn't
we
mention
wanted
anything
to.
about them being alive.
What?
There should be extra work to do that.
That's true. Well then, yes, we should be fine.
All right, then we should head out then. Find these
See, no-
farmers. See what they
Oh.
know.
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay. You kind of finish up your morning breakfast, enjoying yourselves quite a bit. As you kind of finish up and begin to head out, one of the gal who sits at the front desk, what looks to be a young frost giantess, kind of just waves at you as you pass by, seemingly give a smile. And Melvin, as a note, what are you disguised as at this point? Are you still keeping to your kobold form, or?
Yeah, right now just the kobold.
Okay. As you lot kind of pass by, she just kind of seems to wave at you and smile. As you head outside, the city itself opens up with the very thick snows that you can even now see coming plummeting through the large holes where the many of the ships kind of come through. Has started to drift even to the center of the city, to the point where there's almost about a good 6-7 inches of snow on the ground that has started to build up. Many of the frost giants and those and other races that inhabit beginning to wear what looks to be their frostier outerwear as they do so. The cobalt toe still sticking out of the wool socks. Oh no. Alright.
Do you not have shoes?
As you look down at
But a
Oh
commoner.
wait, Melvin, you do have a new outfit that would have been handed to you of earth silk.
The shirt? I mean, it's a shirt.
Yeah,
but-
the shirt.
That
You
doesn't
got a
help
new
his
shirt.
feet.
To be fair, we've confirmed in earlier sessions, shoes are rare.
Yeah.
They're not for like common people. So Castor wearing shoes isn't that unheard of.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, Melvin, you do have now an earth silk shirt, which just for your own notes is a bit of a thicker and heavier silk. There are some minor properties to it that are beneficial, but for the most part, it wears similar to silk.
Cool.
But as you kind of step out into the snow, some of the people kind of watch you a lot as you do so. A few of the frost giants eyeing you up. One of the younger looking, about, you'd guess to be maybe early 20s, male with very little stubble on his face just starting to come in, standing about 15 feet in height. Kind of seems to be eyeing you lot up very almost focusedly. You notice he seems to have like two other cohorts that are similarly aged to him that seem to all be wearing what looks to be heavy leathers. Two of them are carrying, or his two friends seem to be carrying what look to be large shields and swords on their backs, while he seems to be carrying what looks to be some sort of staff at his hip.
Does it seem like an adventurer party or like people from military?
Give me a profession mercenary.
I'd like to
Okey
appraise these
dokey.
young men
Sure.
and sense motive.
Okay. I will take both.
He's staring at me back.
Okay. Give me an
Stare.
intimidation check.
Appraise first.
9.
Roman, you're pretty sure these kids aren't your everyday average raiders, but they also don't look very capable immediately looking at each of the three. You're unsure with what their background is.
Okay.
11 for appraise and 21 for sense motive.
They look to be equipped. It's hard to tell how good the gear is, as much of it looks to be kind of blocked out of your view, your immediate view, James. It looks well enough to say that they're probably not unaccustomed to these items that they're carrying. In the sense motive, what are you trying to gather?
Do they intend to harm, more or less? Or are they looking for work?
As you kind of look them up and down, it seems that they are very tense. The one with the staff keeps like rubbing his hand near Hit and then pulling away as he's looking at you a lot. And James, you notice he is specifically looking at you, but you do not sense that he wants to do harm nor that he wants to work for you. What was your intimidate, Cinder? 21.
21.
As you stare back, Cinder, just a scowl on your face, you see the young giant, frost giants kind of take a light step back for a moment, kind of seem to like try and square up their shoulders a little bit more, like as if they're trying to build up their resolve, but seem to be cautious now as they launch.
Well, lads, do you think we should approach him?
No.
No.
They don't seem
If they want to speak, though,
respectful. You just move on.
Then let's get moving then.
You kind of take another step forward. You hear the one with the staff kind of yell across from the road from you at this point and go, "Are you James of House Frosthorn?"
I don't go by that name, but that's me.
You're the guy with the 2 billion gold bounty?
kid, you don't
I
want.
have no idea what you're talking about with that.
It looks over for a second. Cinder, what were you going to say?
I said, and I quote, "Kid, you don't want to do this."
Frost Giant kind of looks down at you for a moment and goes, I mean, 2 billion gold? That's a lot of gemstones. What'd you do?
I've done nothing.
You hear him kind of comment. You hear a little bit of like what looks to be like quiet chatter between the three of them for a moment. And then the one with the staff speaks up again and goes, Nothing. That's impressive for big of a bounty to do nothing. You just born hated, or you just unlucky?
I did nothing wrong or illegal to do that, so I must have upset somebody.
I'm looking around to see if this is a distraction.
Sorry, what did you say?
I'm looking around to see if this is a distraction.
Give me a search check.
So I have a +6, 17.
17. As you kind of look about, your eyes start to kind of catch a couple of glimpses of some flashing bits of metal coming from a few of the alleyways. Roughly, as you start to count, you count first 5 and then 10. Roughly, as total of what you get is maybe 20 individuals. Slowly, they're starting to surround you. Many of them, from what you can tell, seem to be armed, at least with masterwork weapons, from the general gist of it. A mix of what look to be long swords, bastard swords, and great axes.
I'd like to whisper to James.
Okay.
I'm going to do something, and when I do, you're run. Ready?
I'll nod.
Do I hear this?
I cast Ice on James. Go.
You cast what on James?
It's called Ice Skate. His base movement before any hits is now 60.
That means my base movement now is fucking 80.
As
gone.
as you whisper this down, Melvin and Roland, give me listen checks to see if you can hear this.
Okay.
Because you stand next to James as you're slowly being surrounded.
Listen. My listen's not that great. That's sad.
20.
Easily, Melvin, you hear as Cinder kind of whispers this down to James's ear.
So these guys look like guards or just like
Just
mercenaries?
average individuals wearing leather armor and such. You'd guess mercenaries or adventurers similar to yourself. Roland, you're kind of focused watching these three. Your eyes kind of waiting to see if they're gonna draw a blade on you. Your mind is not even paying attention. Go ahead.
I would like to a building off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
Up in the window, I would like to cast minor image so that it looks like flames, and they hear screaming.
Okay. I think minor image is only a will if they actually interact with it. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Direct.
Yeah, let me roll something real quick. Let's see. Oh wow, this is surprisingly they actually do have a decent. As you cast this, James turns and starts rushing off immediately. Melvin, as your spell goes off, one of the buildings beginning to look like the glass sound like it's shattering from the inside. The sounds of screaming coming from out, yelling out in a giant screaming for help, and as flames and smoke start to kind of portray out. You see the giants immediately almost all kind of look over, and the majority start to the few that are like unconvinced and seem to kind of like look back at you as if expecting you to be the one doing something, seem to almost follow as the rest of the crowd starts running over there in a panic as the group of frost giants that had been surrounding you start to break ranks and begin to run over to the house.
Yeah. I'm moving at least 240 feet around. I'm gone.
James vanishes around a corner of the road as he disappears, leaving Roland, Cinder, and Melvin kind of standing there as these frost giants kind of start to funnel off towards this house and start like trying to get into it as you hear them slamming against the door.
Well, let's go catch up.
Yep, I'd say we should get going.
Okay.
Amazing.
What an interesting
Pop a
day.
smoke.
As Roland just kind of shrugs and starts following after as the last one. You lot start rushing off towards the main entrance to the city through by airship, where the notable staircase of hell is, as well as the drop off for the bodies is set up. You lot all kind of start heading in that direction as you head towards the ports, kind of jogging through town. A lot of the frost giants kind of seem to be looking off towards where James clearly has come through. The snow now slick into a thin ice where his feet have been basically sliding across or gliding across the snow.
I have the snowshoes on, so I don't get any. I'm moving at normal speed.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying from
He's
the
describing
speed.
it, Cameron.
Yeah, from the
Okay,
speed
sorry.
of turning it from like a powdered snow to a solid ice from the amount going past it. As you lot start kind of running off towards the port. After about an hour of jogging between a lot of you, you finally catch up to James at the entrance where he is kind of set up looking at the construction site of next to the large pillar that kind of separates the trade port from the bridge entrance to go into Himpersh's last hold. What looks to be a large fenced-off area with building materials kind of being set aside and people beginning to fill out forms and or kind of moving things around. Seem to be all about as you lot catch up to James, who stares off at this.
Interesting start to the day.
It's very interesting.
Quite crazy that a fire started just at the same time.
Yes. Interesting.
It's good a non-magical fire started, else a magical one would have started in about 6 more seconds. 6 more seconds.
Didn't think that I'd be called out for that. I thought that was all shoved off onto, well, shared between the people of it. Oh well.
Now for the fun part, getting down the mountain.
I'm gonna look at the stairs. Are they finally small person? Is there anything that's finally small person friendly about these?
Sorry?
Is there anything non-giant friendly about these stairs?
So as you
Is there
kind
like a
of... As you'll kind of start admire the bit of the construction site for a moment and start heading over towards the stairway down, the stone steps are about 3 feet tall between between one step and the next step, and seem to be somewhat chipped and cracked as they go down. As you kind of eye them off, they also are slightly icy, with snow kind of beginning to accumulate, and there is no signs of anyone having gone down them in quite a while. But as you lot kind of stand at the edge looking down, James contemplating the fact that the 3 feet are at least more than half of him per step.
Not just me. Well, my dear uncle and I are both 4'6". We only have a foot and a half on these stairs.
As you kind of stare down, looking at this, kind of contemplating for a moment, frost giants going back and forth, some ships kind of flying overhead past you as the heavy winds blow on your face and the snow kind of smacks onto your face lightly before it melts. You hear behind you, Roman, Melvin, James, and Cinder, the light steps of something crunching in the snow as it does so. The occasional light sounding of a pant leg shaking, and then more stepping as it gets closer and a little bit louder. Not as if it's hurried, but at an even pace. As an individual comes up behind you, and as you look back, you see a familiar red noble dressed individual, Jakix himself, standing there with a bit of a frown on his face. His ears slightly tucked away underneath his hair and down, and he looks like he is cold and miserable as there is a bit of snow that is starting to pile up on his shoulders.
I just blink at him. I don't know who this is.
I pat Uncle and go, "Don't worry, we
We know him.
acquaintance."
I don't
Looks
think
cold.
Melvin knows who he is either.
Melvin, you have met Jakix. You met him.
Okay, I did once.
Yeah, remember the first time you met him was when you first met Pierre during the first dungeon you guys did with the trolls, those half trolls, or sub trolls. I forget the name of.
Also,
Pseudo trolls.
Pseudo trolls.
Zebril specifically hates this guy.
Yeah,
and
because he
it's-
killed
he's
two of his bodyguards.
Ah,
Yep, or two guards.
my eyes just narrow a little.
Yep. As you look at him, he kind of looks over at you, James, and with his big gleaming yellow eyes, kind of smiles and goes, "James, my boy, I truly have missed you. I haven't seen you in so long. It feels like. What by chance are you lot doing, and why are you looking down at the stairs of hell?"
One, we have to go down them. Two, we're doing jobs like we normally do.
Interesting. By chance, I have an opportunity for you, and I'm curious if you'd be interested.
I can't say that I would or wouldn't be, but given our previous contract, I don't think we should be around each other too much.
Well, if that is how you feel, as he kind of fixes up his attire a little bit, kind of fidgeting with it as he does, goes, "I figured, though, you'd be interested. I mean, I did chance being killed even by the Regan himself to come here and ask you in person. Not that might interest you, but if you're not interested, then I can't help that. I will be on my way and find another individual who might be willing to chance this discovery of such rare and ancient magic."
We're not
Good
falling
luck
for the
with that.
we're not falling for the bait. Go away.
As he
Good
begins
luck
to
with that.
turn. He shrugs and as he kind of starts walking away, hearing that, and goes, "Don't worry, James, my boy. You'll end up doing what I ask eventually. It always happens. By the way, I do appreciate you stirring up more fire between the some Mog clans in the House of Closen. It worked out greatly for my benefit."
It wasn't the intention. Have a wonderful day.
He kind of spins his little cane in the air. As he does so, the black gemstone begins to glow slightly. Little ears on it kind of seem to twitch as it does, and he walks off.
Is there any other way? Is there a sled down the stairs or a hill? Or is there just stairs?
Roland, give me a search check.
Alright. I'd love to slide down, it'd be fun.
I actually have.
I mean, I left my sled on the ship, or I'd offer you that.
Ah. What a
If you
fan.
look, I am still pulling a sled. I also have a sled.
Woo! You have a sled. Give me a second.
I mean, technically, we would be stabling the animals too. We can go back and get the Arctic mane
No,
that I got.
Oh, how steep is it?
How steep?
Yeah.
What do you mean, out of curiosity?
Just
The slope of the hill.
yeah, the
Oh.
slope. Are we
Oh
Or
no,
not
it
really.
is as you look down, half of the stairs seem to go straight down and seem to be very narrow. You'd guesstimate the stairs themselves are about, I mean, narrow by giant standards. They're only about 6 feet wide. However, as you get further down, they seem to come closer and closer into the mountain. And it's pretty clear that most frog giants that were going down towards about halfway through would probably have to put their back or stomach against the wall to kind of shimmy their way down from there. As the closer you get to the ground, the kind of narrower the stairs get.
Yeah. So ice skate, unless there are crevices, I don't have to make any checks no matter what the incline is, as long as it's not just a wall.
Like riding down stairs on a bike.
I can just
or
run
shit.
down the side. Technically.
The cinder
I got a
kind of
19.
eyes it up and down. Roman, as you kind of look about, you see a couple frost giants watching you as if kind of like waiting and expectingly. You see a few of them like passing coin or gemstones between each other. One of them like looks to be writing some things down. You kind of get they're probably taking bets. So they seem to watch. A couple of chunks of wood are set off to the side of one of the pillars, kind of set in the middle of this area. As you look back, it looks to be just a bunch of junk wood, some broken shields, some hefty pieces of ship that have been torn off, a long piece of what looks to be red metal kind of shoved in and aside. A couple of large glass gemstone-like objects kind of sitting over there. Otherwise, as you look about, nothing else kind of catches your attention as a sled or anything to get down quicker. As you kind of look down along the side, you do notice there is surprisingly no obvious footprints in the snow. It looks like no one's probably traversed this in a little while.
I want to give Roloman the sled because I'm not going to need it. And I'm going to go to a part where there's not stairs, where it's just a slope, and I'm just going to start skating down them.
Okay. You just see a Cinder walks over, kind of looks down the stairs, kind of starts to move his hips back and forth as he's about to get a good jump going, and then you see as he just starts plunging down, speeding across, taking hard turns as he almost goes halfway up the wall of the mountains as the stairs turn down or back in on themselves, and then following the angle back down as you watch him basically ski very successfully down all the way down.
How long does
James,
that
you
spell
do
us?
the same. You have the
Yeah, I
same
was about
spell.
to
You're right. I'm gonna follow my uncle.
As James follows after, a little more clumsily, not realizing as he realizes he has the same spell, and although it seems to keep up just as quickly.
Well, I'm sure you can expect, but Melvin is gonna walk totally normal. All the way
Yep.
down
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, and you're just gonna float down off the side?
I mean, if there are people in eye shot, I'll make sure I at least look like I'm trying to use the steps. But yeah,
Oh,
I'm
so
just
you use the first couple steps, and then when the wall's covering you, you just walk up the side and float down. Okay.
pretty much.
And then it was the.
Roland,
Thankfully,
watch
I
as-
have. Hold on.
sled.
I have
You've
some
been given a
items.
sled.
I have a sled. I have these items called Safe Wing emblems. So if I fall at least 10 feet, it will give me a feather fall effect. So I'm safe from getting fucked and going all the way down the mountain that way.
As you look
That's 10
over
feet
the side,
uninterrupted,
kind of.
though, isn't it?
Yeah. So like if I get flung out, on the stairs, I'm definitely probably gonna fall at least 10 feet at one point, and it'll save me. I have 6 of them, so we're gonna be okay, hopefully.
You look over to the side, kind of checking your bag, kind of swallowing as you look at it, seeing the steep cliff as your teammates continue down. Melvin, by the way, Rollman, as you look over the side, is very comfortably just floating down very easily, as if no
Of course.
bother. And as you see the other two kind of doing like skiing down. The frost giants that are kind of taking bets seem to be now talking a little louder as you hear one of them go, "I bet you he's gonna jump."
I just smirk at them, grab the
When
sled.
Rolliman looks at me over the edge, I just like wave at him.
I wave back. Then I'm gonna hop on the sled and go on down.
Okay, as you get on the sled and kind of like start to like aim it on the stair to like tip it back and forth to get ready, you suddenly feel as something heavy and fluffy pushes into your back, and the sled goes charging forward at top speeds.
Oh wow!
As you
I just flip off whoever's behind me.
You look behind you. You see Snow, the Cinder's leopard, laying on your leaning against your back, smiling at you.
I hand them an amulet.
The
Are they coming down with me, or are they not?
yeah,
coming
Snow's
down
on the sled,
Okay.
it pushed into your back, basically causing the thing to go with you as it takes the amulet from you in its mouth. As you go flinging down.
Yep, I give them an amulet too, so if they go flying, they'll be okay.
Give me a ride check, please, for this.
Okay.
Would you like a ride check?
Can I'd prefer.
Yes,
can I do a balance check? Since a ride's mostly for animals.
Well, ride is technically also for sleds, carriages, and
Is it?
anything else. Yeah.
Damn it. Okay, are you for balance?
Ride is telling you to stay on it.
So ride is still the case in this situation because you're riding it.
Okay. Ride is Dex.
Let's see what you got.
18.
All right, as you manage to keep your yourself on the sled with ease, managing to catch it and turn it as you need to, without going just straight off the side of the first slope of the stairs and into the basically the sky. Managing to get the turn just at the right time, Roman. You start to get a hang of it as you start sloping down. Snow, the leopard, seems to lean his weight with you as you go down. As a few minutes pass by, each of you going past Cinder and James, easily making it to the bottom in a few minutes. Rollman flaring past Melvin, who's just confidently and relaxedly enjoying a slow pace down. As you all finally come... Oh, good.
When he zooms past, you just hear his feather fall.
Yes, Featherfall. Of course it's Featherfall.
Fuck it.
You see Melvin kind of drops a couple, as you pass underneath him, a couple of what feel feathers of some creature. You're not sure what, but you'd guess probably a seagull of some sort kind of drop onto your head.
Get seagull feathers. It's too fucking cold.
As you finally make it to the bottom, coming to a rest, Rollerman with Snow behind you. You see James and Cinder kind of just waiting there as they brush themselves off from the little bit of snow that was kicked off. A few moments later, Melvin finally coming down to a stop lightly on the snow.
Well, that's certainly a way down.
It was easier than I thought.
Oh, easy for you, you could say.
I can do that in reverse too.
You go up?
Yes.
Or do you mean go down the hill backwards?
Ignores inclines as long as it's not, a wall.
Interesting spell.
Yes.
Alright. Well, on we go then.
We should wait for...
There, everyone's
Oh.
here.
How far is Melvin up the stairs?
As you look over, he's right there.
Yeah, he described that he was next to us.
Yep. As you look over...
Oh, then yes, let's go see the farmers and get the information so we can find out.
As you all kind of get your snowshoes strapped on, those of you who have some, those who don't, starting to feel the snow kind of sink, allowing you to sink in a few inches at first. Snow kind of getting off the sled and beginning to kind of pull itself onto the harness of it and begins pulling the sled behind it. As you lot head into the snow itself. Now, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't told what village, what farmers, where to go. The quest doesn't have a location. No one did any research either on the side. So I'm just kind of curious, what's the plan?
I know the notable farm is one that's right down the mountain. I wanted to check there first.
As you look over to, or kind of expectingly the farmhouse to be in the distance, I will say that farmhouse is gone from what you can tell, or there at least is nothing there. As you look over, the thick snow that is coming down though is not helping, as it is almost whiteout like conditions for the amount of snow that is pouring down on you guys at this point. The clouds over sky are starting to get grayer and darker as the time goes on. We'll say it's still morning. Just for your own knowledge, but
I have a spell for this. Where is it? So you said it's almost white.
yes.
I'm gonna cast Snow Sight.
Ooh, what does that do?
I
I'll
ignore.
get-
So anytime snow would basically get in my vision, be in the way, I ignore it completely.
Ooh, okay.
I'll prep a rope and make sure everyone has their hand on it too.
It specifically says even in whiteout conditions, you can see at normal limits of vision.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I gotcha.
And it was. I meant it.
Yeah. All right.
There were snow.
As the snow begins to get thicker, you see as Cinder kind of begins to cast something. His eyes start glowing. Even in the snow, thick snow. Each of you can kind of see his eyes beginning to glimmer. As you look on, let's see. I'm just checking. So it just works as if it's a normal. What's your sight distance? Is it 60 feet? I assume.
I don't think sight doesn't changes between people. That's just a.
Okay.
Just as far as you can see.
Yeah.
Just saying something. I didn't know if I'm just checking if this works similar to. Okay, so it does. Okay, I thought it did. All right. As you look on, you see ahead of you the what looks to be nothing there. It's just flat snow as far as the eye can see. What is supposed to be expected farmlands that was set up by the rumored Lord Dan. Completely look to be gone as you begin to kind of walk towards the shore, or start walking in the direction of the shore, expecting to find a village. I believe you, James, you've been here to this farmer's village before, have you not?
We were in Knighton, so
No, that's right. You've never been to this
I
one.
don't
Okay,
think
no.
so.
Okay. Yeah, as you lot begin to kind of follow down, the snow being as thick as it is, the trees seem to be almost for like 60 feet either side of you, completely cut back as you continue pushing through. Eventually, as you get to the area, Cinder, as you look down at the ground, the snow coming down still thick. It is 30 degrees right now with the coldness from the morning, still kind of warming up a little bit into the sky or in the air. As you look about, you can feel, or you feel around the snow, and you feel the very similar rivulets of where clear soil has been worked at, but as if nothing seems to have been touched. It's not cleared. The snow is starting to pile up. As you head over to where you expect to see a village, and had heard supposed rumors about a farmhouse being, kind of feeling around. There's no sound shows a foundation. There's nothing here. It's as if there's never been anything here. The ground is unusually flat, but otherwise, as you look about, nothing else seems to be giving any sort of hint as the snow is just piling on all around you lot. As Cinder kind of walks back over to all of you, I will say the storm is so loud that you lot have to get within about 5 feet of each other just to hear each other for normal voices as the snow is picking up.
So what do we know just makes a village disappear?
A lot of magic.
Because the land's flat. There should be buildings here. There's not buildings here.
I'm going to check something. I don't have the spell prepared though. Shit. I'm going to try and see if there's any signs of magic going on around us to either disguise or trick us.
Alright, I'll take a spellcraft or a knowledge arcana.
I will go with spellcraft.
He's spellcrafted.
19.
As you kind of look about, again, it's hard to see, but as you kind of, James, as you kind of step away from the group, Cinder, Rolliman, and Melvin kind of watching on, As you do so, the snow, again, so thick that after James walks away about 10 feet, Roloman and Melvin, he disappears to you, though Cinder can clearly still see him. By the way, Cinder, I did confirm, it works like dark vision, so you have 60 feet of this site, for reference. It's because it's supposed to work like magic, as if it was like magical darkness, basically. As you kind of head further over, James, towards where the buildings should be, kind of feeling in the snow as you do, looking for any form of like spell circle, any sort of magic. There's nothing here. It's almost as if it's, strangely absent of magic all around you. As you look about, there's no spell circles, there's no signs. If this was a farm in this blizzard, there should be some sort of residue of magic or usage to even manage to maintain a farmhouse. But nothing seems to appear.
I will waddle back and go, well, no magic.
James, give me a search check as you waddle back.
I'll be using the status plate to direct me as I waddle back.
Fair enough, then never mind.
It points in their direction. I know how to get back.
As you all hear as James begins to kind of walk back, Cinder, again, you're able to see him, but Rolam and Melvin, it's like even the sounds of James's steps are being kind of almost covered up by the hefty winds that are starting to kind of pick up. The temperature is beginning to slowly drop as you can feel the cold getting worse as the snowstorm is getting thicker.
You might want to find some shelter because the storm's only getting worse.
Oh, you don't normally sleep in snowstorms?
No, not usually.
Oh,
Roman says, slightly shivering, I imagine.
I have the cold weather clothes on.
Oh, that's true, you do.
Well, Cinder, do you see any caves or over coverings that we can go to?
I mean, I'll give the area just a quick once over.
Give me a search. As James kind of finds himself waddling back through the snow over to you a lot. Noticing...
There's no sign of magic.
As James kind of says this, Roloman and Melvin and Cinder, you can't help but notice, but even the sounds of James's footsteps, which he's not clearly hiding, are barely audible up to about past 5 feet away from you all.
24 search.
24. As you look through the snow, thankfully with your vision seeing past the thick snow, you do see the tree line on either side is, again, about 60 feet, from here it looks to be almost about 90 feet past, a little bit off to the west. Clearly showing the distinction of what was probably a farmland cutout, and you can see what looks to be a thick forest off to that distance. Looks like the snow isn't as heavily pushing through as the canopy of trees are seemingly keeping the snow above. Though as you look over in that direction, you do see the hints of what looks to be something glimmering. What looks to be bits of chunks of ice sticking up. Though from this distance it's too hard to tell what they are. It just looks to be generally something's kind of glimmering and looks to be the same color as ice. Looking off to your left, though, and behind you, you do see the hefty mountain that looks to still kind of be still imposing, and you do see a couple of caves that dot throughout it. Though, with the little knowledge you've heard and a little bit of rumors you all have heard throughout town, there is supposed belief that a lot of the lower tunnels of most of Regan Utham's territory are either filled with dragons of some sort or necromancers.
Yeah, I'd rather not. The forest is good.
I'll keep an eye out with Earth Sense as well as we're walking. 20 extra feet around us is good for me.
Does Earth Sense require you to be touching the earth?
Yes.
I think
It might not say earth, it might say ground.
The ground is what I'm looking for. Yeah, you do. They're also touching the ground. You're not currently touching the ground, James. You are about, from what you'd gather, maybe 3 feet from the ground. At this point.
He's surrounded by snow.
Yeah, this is thick and heavy snow coming down.
All right.
So if you want to dig yourself down and then dig through fully, I'm down with it. I just figured I'd mention that.
I don't have mole powers.
Oh, okay. All right.
Everybody hand on the rope.
Lead the way, Cinder.
I wonder what the glittery...
Oh, the glitter
Cinder
thingy?
starts taking you through the towards the tree line pass over what you can clearly feel or looks like to be a large patch of just flat ground. The snow is just piling up on, clearly distinguishable as probably what used to be some sort of farmland. As you head towards this tree line, takes you a good 20 minutes or so of walking as the snow is just thick and blowing heavily towards you lot, pushing you back with everything it can as it bites into your skin, every place it touches. But as you finally reach the edge of the farm field, hitting the thin tree or the thick tree line, you begin to see the snow pretty much dissipates, allowing you all to go back to normal vision, as the snow doesn't seem to be able to get through the very heavy tree canopy. As you look up, seeing trees with massive icy branches that seem to kind of almost create an artificial ceiling to the entirety of the forest. As you start kind of walking through let snow only a couple of inches off the ground over here as you kind of slope down towards the dirt.
So is it possible this farming village never existed, or do we think it truly disappeared?
It existed. The
It
land was
existed?
cleared and ready.
Hmm.
Some of the land's already been worked a bit, but then it just got neglected.
Maybe they were pushed out by something?
That's what I'm worried about.
We can look around and see if there's any clues of animals.
Yeah. No. I'll take survival if you're looking for tracks or search in general.
I'll do search.
I-
Tracks in a snowstorm is harder to find.
Yeah, I was gonna
Well,
say.
in the
We'll
woods
say
it wouldn't be because
No.
there's less snow falling
the
here.
snow here, I will say, goes from almost like 3 feet thick that you guys kind of drop down in a bit of a slope, and it goes to almost like a few inches as you're down.
Okay.
So
Well, my
It
search
would
is
be-
better, so.
It would be difficult to find animal cane did not have the scent tracking ability.
also true.
True.
So he's just gonna have a bit of a sniff.
16 search.
16 search. Okay. You kind of look about the trees, Rollman, looking to either side. There's clear signs of what looks to be something that has shot off something icy, as if like almost like a dragon's breath or like maybe an Arctic mane's breath, hitting the sides of the trees where you can see clear signs of the ice impacting and spiking out and then breaking off from the wind. All throughout, but it all seemed to be facing all towards the direction you just came from. As if the creature was in the west attacking something in the east or trying to create a clear sign of its territory. As you look about, you also notice bits of what look to be almost a brownish snow kind of lying on the ground that as you get close, you do recognize as older blood. You'd guess from the appearance of it, and given the snow, with the fact that it's on top of the snow, this is probably no more than a day old, if that. As you look
Okay.
about, otherwise you find nothing else.
Well, we've either got some sort of Arctic mane dragon, something that can shoot an ice breath. And it might have been that the people from this village came into the woods looking for something, maybe some firewood, chopping down some trees, and got pushed out and left. Is my guess anyway.
DM, was the glittering just the ice spikes, or
As you look about, no, you can see from here what looks to be in the distance a iced over lake, with what looks to be some sort of. You're almost 100% sure it's something, but you're from this distance. It's still too far away to make out exact details. But there's like spikes of ice sticking off of the lake itself that look to be shaped in some like purposefully. Though from here, it's hard to make out what the shapes exactly are. Also in the center, you notice what looks to be something kind of brownish and yellowish that's kind of folded in on itself, kind of just lying there, almost like a grass-like material.
The
I think I see where something lives.
Well, let's go take a look then. If
Frozen
nothing
lake.
else and we can't find anything.
Well, worst case, I'll have snow follow the scent of blood.
Be careful. Don't know exactly what we're facing here.
As you lot begin to head further in towards the lake. As you walk through the trees, it's almost eerily quiet. The sounds of the wind are almost kind of lost in the heavy heavy treed area with the canopy being frozen over, the snow kind of piling up on top of the thick ice. It almost creates like a natural insulation as you get further in of a light humidity that starts to warm up from the cold and icy 30 degrees that you with heavy wind chill that was hitting you to make it almost feel like it was 0 degrees or colder. Here it's not warm, but it's not unpleasant as the wind is no longer biting into your skin. You don't feel the cold hitting you as hard as you walk about. And the almost absolute silence is kind of eerie as you continue through. The only sounds every once in a while of the light cracking of ice in the distance, or the sounds of the wind rushing through from the entrance of the forest itself, kind of whistling as it does. As you make it to the lake itself, it opens up to a small clearing where the snow seems to kind of be a little bit lighter in this area for some strange reason. As you look up, it doesn't seem to be hitting onto the lake itself. As you look about, the lake has in each of the four cardinal corners or cardinal direction corners looks to be a statue carved perfectly of a goose with wings, designed out as if someone went in and carved it masterfully themselves. At the center, what looks to be a bunch of grass kind of pushed in on itself, and as you look over each of you, you see what look to be clearly two large toad-like creatures. Kind of slimy in coloration, brownish in skin. One looks to have bright red eyes, the other is bright blue, and they just seem to be kind of sitting on either side of what you recognize in the center is a blackened rock that looks to be almost oval shape and with strange rivulets all over it that seem to give off a color of a bluish coloration.
The hell is that? James, you know rocks. What is that?
I guess I'll roll for stone cutting on it. Fuck it.
There you
So I'll praise it.
Yes, in this situation. Yep.
That's an extra +2 because I'm praising stone. Let's go. 22.
You're pretty sure whatever this is something extremely exotic, valuable, and rare, but you have no clue what it is.
Can I roll nature to see if it's
Wow.
an egg?
Go ahead. I will say, James, the only thing you're 100% sure on, it's not a rock.
That's
what I
that's not a
figured.
rock. It's strange. It's rock-like, but it's not a rock.
20 nature.
Looking at the two toads to either side, you're pretty sure if this thing is an egg, these creatures would have eaten it. But as you kind of take a look at it, Cinder, it does bring back memories of the pits, and as you kind of begin to, as something kind of begins to flash back, a very unpleasant memory of watching another snowbeard being put in a room full of other similar objects, and the creatures hatching out and tearing into the individual's stomach as he was suspended over the eggs to see what would happen. The imagery kind of fades away in your head as you kind of let that memory go and realize this is a dragon egg.
Nephew,
Aye, uncle?
have you ever wanted a dragon egg?
Wait.
I'd never say no to one, but
I just point-
usually they're parents.
What
just pointed to-
kind, what kind of dragon though is it?
I don't know.
I guess we'll get closer and see if those frog things attack.
As you
What
get
are those frog things?
As you look at the two toads to either side, they just kind of stare at you blankly. One kind of closes one eye and then the other a few seconds later and then reopens both slowly.
Do I get the
guess.
feeling magical beast, animal?
With that
Sentient.
roll, you'd estimate these creatures are probably some sort of magical creature. It's pretty clear to see. You've never seen a frog that, as you look at them, they look to be roughly about at first only like 2 feet in width and 2 feet tall. They're pretty large frogs, from what you can tell, or toads. You'd guesstimate that they're probably magical of some sort. With the eyes also being unique in coloration, something seems off about these creatures. They're also on either side of the egg, almost propping it up between the two of them.
All right, let's see if it wants to speak to a kindly druid. I'm gonna waddle over.
As you kind of step over to the edge of the lake, the rest of the party kind of watching as you do so, still kind of standing at the edge of the opening of the forest. The two toads kind of just continue staring off into the distance. One blinks, the other blinks.
Are you a magical creature that can talk or no?
As you kind of say this, moment goes by. Another moment, a few more moments, awkward moments of silence and wind, heavy wind kind of go by. And as the slight whistling of the forest continues, Cinder, you're pretty sure these two creatures either can't talk or just do not care.
I just look at the others and shrug.
I guess I'll start approaching with Cinder slowly.
Just keep in mind, most toads and frogs usually attack when things get near. That's how they hunt.
They are still about 20 feet from you at the center of the lake, from what you, for your own knowledge, Cinder, as you stand at the edge.
Statue?
Huh? Yeah, as you kind of walk over towards one of these statues, Roman, and looking it up and down, it looks to be a well-carved goose, but as you look at it, immediately one of the first things you recognize is there seems to be something darker inside. Give me a search check to see what you can catch.
Will do. 9.
As you kind of look in, it looks like there's something inside these statues, but you're unsure what the object, creature, individual is. But the statues themselves look to be perfect designs of what look to be large geese, dragons. As you start to kind of look at the intricate carving of the tail, the wings and such seems to be a mix of scales and feathers, and the almost each of them, as you look over, are all exact replicas of one another.
How many are there?
4, and they are all
Yeah,
each
each
placed
4.
exactly in the cardinal directions. So one south, one west, one east, and one north on the lake itself.
And are they pointing towards the egg, I assume?
No, they are all
pointing outwards?
Yes, they are all pointing outwards.
Is this a ritual circle?
As
Sort of
Cinder looks around, Melvin, is there anything you'd like to do?
I'm just going to stand back and observe
Okay.
for now.
Doing his job as a television broadcaster, he's not getting involved.
Yep, Melvin's staying back with Snow and the little car sled.
James, there's something in these statues. I think you can.
Let
lend
me
your
come
magical
take a look
insight?
then.
Can I spellcraft to see if I think this is some kind of ritual circle or similar, with it being perfectly circular in a sense of the 4 directions?
I will say it's not perfectly circular. It's actually diamond-like shaped, which is even more suspicious. So yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's even.
I was about to ask, what would I need to roll to recognize magic in the statue?
The magic in the statue, you can either do spellcraft or knowledge arcana. However, if you're just looking in the statue to try and identify what's inside of it, you can also just give me a search check.
Do search, then I'll do arcana, not arcana, spellcraft, to see if I can figure this
prepared for
out.
my day.
Okay.
Hey, look at you, man.
I prepared for my day of spellcrafting.
Hey, look, that's better
That's
than mine.
11 for search, and for my spellcraft, nat 20 for 26.
Okay, give me a moment.
I will say to everyone, I recommend not stepping into this
Okay.
arrangement. Maybe bad things happen.
Cinder, as you look at this, you realize this is a perfect rendition of a spell that you have seen only once before. You recognize this as a theoretical spell that you saw up on one of the boards that Corix himself had been putting together and working on, designing himself supposedly as a way to wipe out these snowbeards. And as you recognize the diamond-like shape, you remember remember the simple words Animus Blizzard. And I will put that in spelling for your notes, so in case you didn't get that.
Yeah,
There you go.
I know this spell.
As you take a second, James, as you look over the statues themselves, so you said you got 11 for the search and 26 for the spellcraft. Okay.
Yeah.
Looking inside, you recognize the first statue looks to be some sort of snowbeard-like individual inside it that has heavy adamantine-like armor. As you go looking at the other three, you notice each of them seem to have small frost giant-like creatures, or that seemed each being one looking to be like almost wearing nothing, very little commoner's clothing, basically. However, their hands fully wrapped, a large belt around their midsection. The other, looking to be a very effeminate featured frost giant that is wearing a very heavy plate seems to give a bit of a glimmer of gold and seems to, as you recognize the symbol of Ella Ugbo on their chest. The third and final of the frost giants looks to be kind of greenish in color and seems to probably have had something on them. However, now they seem to be fully naked and just standing there with a big goofy smile on their face.
I have a question because James met them briefly. Does this look like Sunday Party?
This does look like the Unfortunate Sons.
Cinder notably starts to hyperventilate as he looks around frequently at statues from where he was looking at everything.
I'm gonna go back to the Snowbeard. Does that look like Eider?
As you look in, it almost surprisingly looks similar to you, in fact. As you recognize James, one of your probably lower end cousins, as you know them, someone who wasn't a high enough ranking in the family to even be a name worth knowing, but you recognize the very common of your mother's family features, looking at the individual and realizing this individual was probably no older than than just out of their teenage years.
So this isn't Sunday Party, but it looks like a
Each of them
recreation of it?
seems almost to look like a grim, macabre version of them. Yes.
Don't touch anything.
Cinder, what's the
I did
issue?
plan on it.
Beyond 9th level spell, made by Lord Corix.
Hmm?
Makes a
What?
giant blizzard.
Is this spell currently active, or?
I don't know. I can't understand magic of this level.
Oh, shit.
I've only seen the theory of this one before.
Well, did the theory explain how to turn it off?
First,
I mean,
for your own knowledge, you'd note that spell was in theory. It was proven impossible to use in practice, as the spell required the magic and life of too many individuals to make it work. Basically, it's a one-time use spell. Mm-hmm.
But what I understand the idea of usually fucking up a spell circle will turn it off, or make it not have a chance of activating.
So that is the case. However, I'd also put forth as a wizard or as a druid that you'd also note that messing with a spell circle can also, depending on if the magic's already active or is part of something else, can cause a chain reaction, which could be, in theory, worse in this situation.
Okay. I think the best idea is to go warn someone this is here. Because if it's a blizzard spell, the frost giant should be fine.
Uh-huh.
But the backlash could kill us if we touch anything.
Understood. What's the point in making a blizzard spell, though, in, a place
Well,
where blizzards happen all the time?
There's a blizzard spell here, and we just found where there was a village that's gone where there's a blizzard, and this spell was made to kill snowbeards.
There's no snowbirds here. Right?
Yes, but if the spell is made to kill a snow-based creature...
I guess it could be modified, yeah. Yeah, alright.
Rollman, as you
Sorry.
kind of
Oh,
take
boy.
a moment and you think about it, I will note that from your own knowledge, it seems frost giants are a lot more acclimated to the cold naturally, even compared to snowbeards, who still very commonly you've seen wear cold outerwear. Frost giants, typically, even in this kind of weather, can commonly just go out in it without concern. So, as you kind of take a note of that, thinking, just to kind of put that note, if this spell is working on frost giants, that means it would theoretically be effective on snowbeards.
All right, I'll put a more fair realization of that Cinder would think of, because this is one I just thought of. It was put over a farming village, probably just ruined the farms as well.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's already been done then? Like the spell was
Well,
already
it's
complete?
it's one time active, but if the blizzard's still there, it's still going.
In
But-
each of these statues,
Yeah. What
Body-
about him?
there are bodies frozen. 1 snowbeard and 3 frost giants. Rollman, you remember that party we worked with when we first arrived in Hermhurster's last hold way back when, right?
Yeah, those rookies that didn't really know what they were doing.
It looks like them and my cousin Eiter, who joined them.
that we worked with, that Rollman and Esso worked with, you didn't show up.
Yeah, you were there. But yeah, that's
Take a
like,
look
is it
into the ice.
them? I didn't see much.
I'll be pointing out the features at this point to
Okay.
show that it looks
As he
like
begins
them
to kind of
between
point out the
statues.
features, Roman, you begin to recognize a few of them, but something kind of catches your eye. This group had an extra member. They had Aldrin. Something's off.
Is it not complete? They did have another member, James.
Aldrin, yeah, he quit them and came to work for us.
Mm-hmm.
Are we being entrapped? Can I do like a spot check as I quickly look everywhere?
Yeah, give me a spot check.
Because if there's a body missing and we're here, this is clearly made to lure people in. I don't like this.
Can I sense motive? to the
What?
situation?
What?
Huh?
I'm thinking like Sunday party. Give me a second here.
You can sense mode of the tripod. 24, as you look about Cinder, standing about 20 feet into the forest behind you, not trying to hide by any standard, is the same individual that had been standing at the top of the staircase that introduced themselves as Jakix to James earlier, seemingly shivering as he stands with his walking stick, one kind of leaning on, a slight shake in his hands, and you can see a little bit of blueness as he kind of tightens his arm up against himself, trying to warm himself.
All right, what do you want?
Is this your ancient magic thing you were talking about?
He kind of like stands up straight and kind of brushes off some of the snow and goes, "It's not. I tried to warn you. I tried to give you some ideas here, and then you decided to go get involved in this. Do you not understand that someone wants the Regan dead?"
I'm pretty sure a lot of people want him dead, but sure.
He kind of sighs and goes, "Okay. Allow me to explain something. I don't want to see the world ended, because I have a lot of things in this world that I would like to still do. With that, I would like your assistance in making sure that doesn't happen. So, how about, instead of ignoring the individual who's trying to tell you about the big fucking magic issue going on, you all take some intelligence for once that you're so claimed to have, and listen.
I mean, you are an international criminal.
And I came into a city where I have a wanted poster and a personal death warrant from the ruler himself to warn you and give you an opportunity. Do you not think that speaks either out of my own desperation of the situation, which would glean your interest on why I'd be desperate, or maybe, by chance, that this might actually be of concern to everyone?"
You seem like the type to show up wherever you want. I'm not wrong.
That's it. I'm not... As he says that, you watch as black smoke begins to erupt around him, and he vanishes.
Good.
Even Mr. Kix is involved. This is a fucking mess. Why would
This is
you said this
not a
was
good
Korix's theory, right? Why would
Theory.
Korix want
Yes,
him dead?
the theory that he was working on. I don't know if he finished it or someone else.
He was definitely involved then, probably.
I will tell you, Corix, despite being a caster, isn't the Actually, I don't even think Corix is a caster.
What was he doing with a magic spell like this powerful then?
What was Corix doing with it?
Yeah.
Well, he's gonna. I already told you.
I mean, yeah, but if he's not a caster, what was he gonna fucking do?
He probably has other casters under him.
Remember, dragons are natural sorcerers, so if any of them have been, it's easier for them to get trained as casters.
Well, yes, but from what I've heard, he's never done official training as a wizard or similar.
So it'd be likely that a dragon lord has a caster core.
More than likely.
So how does this spell lead to Utham dying and also the end of the world?
Well, Utham's the head of the medical research in the world, so
Alright.
He's also one of the supposed faction leaders among the world itself.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like a pretty good step to cause chaos.
Fair. So you think this spell was unleashed on that small farm, maybe as some sort of test, and maybe they're making some sort of bigger one somewhere else?
Either a test or they're slowly pushing his land back that he's been trying to reclaim.
Alright. Well, we should probably get out of here then, huh?
Warning the city comes first, right?
aye, we should head back up.
As you begin to kind of say this in turn, you hear as the ice begins to crack underneath the lake. First slightly, and then it gets louder as if the entire ground is beginning to crack and rumble. The center of the lake seems to expand, kind of expand out with water beginning to explode up from the ice. The toads themselves seeming to suddenly go wide-eyed and start panicking as you hear them ribbiting away, trying to get their little wide butts out of the center of the ice cube. As a large, like almost stone pillar begins to push up with the dragon egg at the center of it, beginning to ascend. As it does, overhead you see as wings begin to flap, and what looks to be a cobalt-colored dragon that seems to be standing about or flapping about 6 feet in length from head to tail, and about maybe 15 feet in wingspan as the creature flies overhead. One of its eyes clearly scarred over what looks to be a heavy helmet-like material over it that's in the shape of a large skull, as it seems to cover its full head. The rest of its body covered in what look to be some very large bones kind of draping down from the creature as it roars down at you.
Does this look recognizable?
Nope.
Or
Nope. Everyone, please roll initiative.
dragon?
Not fighting that. Absolutely not.
A little late.
Yeah, not really gonna stick around for that. We're leaving.
What
Ooh.
size is the dragon?
Like
As
medium.
or adult? Or I meant as in like
Medium.
You do
age.
not know.
Don't know the age. Okay, but medium sized.
Correct.
Uh-huh.
Aha. Nice roll.
Oh, my rolls are
God
good
damn.
tonight.
Hey man, that's not
Fuck.
cool.
Hi there, Cameron.
23 though.
Hi, Uncle.
All right, 23 for Rollerman, not bad. 13 for James, okay. Cinder, 13. Melvin, what do you got?
It was a 12.
12. All right. Damn. James or Cinder, which one of you has the higher dex?
I have a dex mod
James.
of I have plus
James
2.
is plus. It's higher.
I have a plus.
You have a what, Cinder?
I have a +3.
Ah,
But it's based off the total, not just
But
dex.
it's based on total.
Yeah,
James
I
is
have
plus 6
improved
beats.
initiative.
got you. All right. Give me un momento.
It's dragon time, guys.
It is dragon time.
Not
Well,
the-
you're getting the dragon fight you wanted.
I don't want a dragon fight.
I did.
I cast ice magic. This is good.
No, this is not the dragon for you.
I prepared
I
spell.
I
Uh,
prepped to deal with animals, not this.
This doesn't look like a saber-toothed tiger.
so let me just roll for the two toads who are running or scampering away, just out of fairness.
They seem surprised too, which is interesting.
They are.
This wasn't expected by them.
I think they wanted to eat whatever came out of the egg.
Ooh, that's true. I like that idea. They're not guardians. I thought initially they might be guardians, but no. They might
Oh
just be sitting
wow! Ouch! All right.
there.
I like to-
one more
I was telling you, they couldn't crunch through the eggs. It was like rock hard, so they were waiting for it to hatch.
Could be.
Hey, maybe we're on their side then, huh?
I'm so sad that one of them rolled so badly and the other rolled so much better. All right, let me go.
One of them was on their toes. One of them was not.
Well, that's what you get when you're a large toad. You don't expect it.
It's true.
All right. As we get to the top of the initiative, the creature roaring down at you all. As it does so, Rolliman being the first to act as the large stone pillar begins to shoot up in the air about 20 feet with the egg at the center of it, almost kind of held in place as it does. The toads beginning to scamper away, trying to avoid getting pulled into the water as the ice begins to crack around them. You stand about 20 feet from the center of the lake itself, off to the right side of it. The dragon seems to be flying about 30 feet up in the air, about 10 feet over or to your left and onto the lake itself as you look about, Rolliman.
Does this dragon look like it's gonna hurt us?
It's roaring and angry. You've never heard a dragon roar at you before, so...
Oh, okay. I guess I will pull out me bow. I have one.
Rolliman's heard a dragon burden before.
Huh?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's true. Yeah, you heard. I was actually Essa
Summoner.
and yeah.
Yeah, the Summoner Dragon Lord roared at us really early on.
Mm-hmm.
That's also true.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna pull out my composite short bow that has
Okay.
bless on it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Rolliman calmly pulls out the bow, begins to aim it in, drawing back the string or the string as he does so.
Yep. I'm gonna shoot. This is terrible to hit because I don't use bows usually. You said 30 feet, so it's in the first.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. And bows is base plus dex, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Okie dokie. First I will use an action to use the bless that's within it, so cast bless on myself. For
Okay.
+1. Take this. 14 to hit.
Alright, let's see. Surprisingly, that does not hit.
Wow, what a fucking surprise that it hit a dragon. Alright. Well, that was my action. I used an action to I can't really do anything else. I'll take a 5-foot step back towards the trees.
Okay, as you kind of take a step back towards the trees, immediately the creature seems to roar in response. As you're not gonna. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah. All right. As you take your 5-foot step back, are you not gonna take a second shot? Oh no, it's a turn to take out your bow. Never mind, or an action. I forgot. The creature is going to looking down, and as you take a shot, the arrow going flying by it is going to turn its attention towards you immediately, and is going to fly down 10 feet. And then breathe out onto you. And unfortunately, last we spoke, James was right next to you. So James and Rolliman, I need a reflex save.
Oh,
Alrighty
great.
Reflex save. I don't have a terrible reflex save. It's not that great though.
I do. Double check something. Does this get under the spell or magic?
Woo! 29.
No, this is a dragon's breath, so this is a natural thing. 29, you succeed, so you'll take half.
That's good.
7.
I don't think.
All right. So this is force for reference.
Force.
Yes.
Oh, cool. I get some damage reduction from that.
That is 15 points as the creature's breath seems to pulsate out of its mouth. You see the air around it seems to almost like a sound wave begin to kind of wave and move. And as it suddenly hits you, this strange like sound begins to hit in your chest and shoves you back into the ground hard as it seems to almost gravity slamming down onto you. Roman, you take half, so that will be rounded down to 7. And James, in this case, you'll take full unless you have a reductor.
I have some damage reduction, so will be taking only
Your damage reduction against
12 of it.
force.
3 overall damage
That's only for
reduction.
hitting with melee.
That's just damage reduction for melee. That doesn't count for
So then I take
force. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
full.
All
For
right.
energies and stuff, there's resistances. It's different.
And as he
I
floated
have
down 10
2
feet,
cold resist.
he's going to use the
This is
last of his remaining movement to move up, fly back up the extra 10 feet and go back to staying in the air 30 feet up. All right, that ends his turn. The icy toad, is going to make a choice here. It begins to head over towards Cinder, as it does with its bright blue eyes, and is going to move the full 30 feet it has, or 20 feet to go over to Cinder, and is going to try and bite you.
Damn. That's mean.
Oh fuck! This
Roll to see
this
if you actually
toad
get a
clamps down. No.
Oh, nope.
I
That's
assume a
normal hit.
28 does hit though.
It's a nat 20. What do you want me to say? The number doesn't mean shit. It's a nat 20.
It's true. As it bites down on you, it begins, or you take 10 points of damage as it kind of holds on, clamping its mouth.
This thing is about to really wish it didn't do that.
That automatically cues off a grapple check from it since it succeeded in its bite check. I need you to roll grapple. And it does have improved, so unfortunately, no opportunity.
He wants a hug.
It does.
Don't go hugging the wildlife,
18?
Uncle.
Hold on, I'm doing my bonus. Hold on.
No worries.
No. Are you a good wrestler?
I don't know. 21. I'm decent.
21. You succeed to manage to kind of fling the toad, get your hand away from the toad's mouth as you pull away. The creature kind of looking up at you with a glimmer in its face as it begins to ribbit louder and begins to kind of puff itself up, ending its turn. Cinder, you're up.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a 2-for-1 special. Let's see. I think, yeah. I need a reflex save from first the toad, then the dragon.
Okay. Ba-ba-bum. There you. 16 for the toad.
Fail.
For the dragon. 8.
Damn.
Yeah, the dice giveth, and the dice taketh away. I smacked him, he gets to smack me.
A flaming sphere appears on the toad, and then jets off towards the dragon.
Oh no.
Fire! Fucking Mario.
Please not fire. This is gonna hurt. I know.
Oh, it's really. I'm very angry.
What do you?
Angry druid.
As the fiery sphere kind of envelops the toad, let's see what you roll for damage.
I think it's just 2d6 for initial. Yeah, so 9 damage to each.
9 damage to each. All right, so that is 18.
Fire damage.
Oh no, sorry, it's damage and
It's
a half.
plus
or-
50%. Yeah.
That is 4, so that is 13 points of damage. All right. Ouch. All right. Give me a moment. As the fire envelops the toad, it begins to ribbit louder as the creature freaks out, bouncing up and down, trying to get the fire off of it. As the sphere goes flying off like almost a firecracker shot off the creature, plowing into the center chest of the dragon. The dragon seems to screech out as it also takes a burning bit of damage.
You're gonna love, because I didn't move as a move action, I moved the sphere back to the toad again. I need another reflex save.
No, not the toad.
The poor toad does not deserve this.
Fucking, he started it.
He did.
He did start
It doesn't mean he deserves this. That's a 20.
You'll take half.
Frog legs. No, Melvin. Don't eat the icy toad.
10.
Melvin, you're welcome to eat the roasted frog legs.
Is that total or halved?
That's total.
Thank you. As the creature, as the flaming sphere comes flying back down towards the toad, as it looks up at it, the creature tries to jump up, and as the sphere smacks into it, drops down into the snow, kind of wiping itself off in the snow as it does so. Its skin slightly charred. The creature beginning to bloat itself up as you see its skin kind of cracking off.
Yeah. Also, the sphere is physical, so it is just a spongy mass pushing against the toad.
Mm-hmm. Does that end your turn, Cinder?
Yep.
All right. As the toad still fights to keep dominance of its spot from this fiery sphere, James.
Of course,
Oh.
on my turn, my leopard.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Snow. Go ahead.
Snow's gonna jump the toad.
Oh no! All right. Snow is about 10 feet from you, so he would be in total about 15 feet from the toad, for reference.
Well, leopards have a 40-foot movement speed. I'm not
I
that
figured
worried.
as much, but just for clarity.
Also,
He just have to move
leopard
down.
pounce.
Ooh, you're gonna charge him?
Oh no!
Charge him.
He-
Fuck him
He's
up.
gonna pounce the toad.
Okay.
It can make a full attack, including 2 rake attacks. Oh god.
Yeah. Let's see what you got.
All right. Come on. Is it 20 hit?
A 20 does hit my toad.
Your toad.
Okay.
Yes, my personal ice toad. I named him Frederick.
What about the other one? Do you like that one?
No. That's Bob, and I'm hoping he dies first.
All right. That's 8 damage from the initial bite.
8. Okay. Oh, as Snow jumps over, grabbing onto the toad and tearing, tossing it about as it does.
19 to hit.
19 does hit.
I'll admit, the claws are much less impressive. 3.
Damage is damage.
Damage is damage. Cutting at the creature with his jaw still sunken as it's scratching away. The toad kind of inflating its body as the Snow's mouth opens up and pulls away.
1 more rake.
Alright.
Oh, no, Cameron. The claws and the rakes are separate, motherfucker.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is fine. This is fine.
Oh god.
19 again.
19 hits.
Well,
Oh,
Snow's
no.
variant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
2 damage.
Tearing into the creature
Chip
as Snow kind of like bats at it one last time, trying to smack it towards the fiery sphere. The toad kind of inflates itself up even more, kind of scaring Snow as he startles it, stepping back back to his spot.
Oh, no, dude, he's not done yet. There's 5.
Oh, they're really. Oh god.
Yeah,
All right.
pounds.
The 3 was the full attack. The rakes are on top.
Got you. Okay, let's see what you got.
20.
20 hits.
Are these better than claws? Let's see.
They're the same.
Oh,
5.
5 damage.
that's the total, not the other two.
As Snow tears into the creature, catching it across the face, the creature's eye seems to get caught and tears out as you see this like red, long, stringy bit pull with it. The toad seems to deflate as it does and seems to kind of just sink into the ground as Snow pulls away, kind of shaking away the eye as it does, into letting it hit the snow with a wet splat.
This party just saw a snow leopard that they've never seen fight before just rip a toad to shreds.
Don't you have one more?
Thumbs up.
I mean, is it dead? It has
It is
another
dead.
attack.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes, the ice toad is dead.
okay.
Rollman, you'll see as suddenly snow calms down and just starts licking its paw.
As Snow ends his turn, we jump over to James. Snow licking away its paw, staring at the other toe with a bit of a hungry look in its eyes. James, what would you like to do?
Well,
As you
I
stand about 30, because you're standing next to Rollman, you are 30 feet below and about 10 feet to the left of the dragon currently flying in the air. The frost toad is about 40 feet to your left. What's remained of the snow toad is the ice toad is about 20 feet to your left.
I'm not gonna look at that. I'm gonna go ahead and try to deal with the dragon, as I will take a 5-foot step back when I cast the first portion, when I cast my first spell. I reach into a pocket, pull out a handful of ashes, and I'm gonna be casting Kelgor's Firebolt.
Okay.
I do.
As your hand begins to
So,
light up and a
5d6.
little fireball in your hand begins to glow as you shoot it straight at the dragon, kind of piercing through the snow as you do. Go ahead.
Is it
And-
spell resistance?
It does not have spell resistance, but I believe it's a spell attack to hit, right? With this?
Yeah.
Which is, if I remember correctly, a d20 plus my wisdom.
Modifier,
That's
yep.
how it does.
Yep, your caster modifier, yep.
And it's a touch attack.
It is...
Don't worry, dragons universally have
Wait,
bad touch attack. Touch ACs.
It's touch? I thought it was a ranged attack.
Ranged touch attack.
Ranged touch, okay.
It's a ranged touch attack, yeah.
That just barely hits.
Oh, cool. That's 5d6 fire damage.
Oh, no.
And yeah,
It is a very.
Yep,
Fireball.
I don't like this.
it'll also, if it had spell resistance, it would still deal 1d6 points of fire damage from the heat and force of the impact. So
Does not have spell resistance, so you are good to go.
19.
19 damage?
Fire damage.
Yeah.
Fire
damage.
Let me do, what's that, divided by 2, because I can't do
9.
math. Yeah, it is, you're correct. Thank you. As the fire kind of goes beaming up into the sky, kind of igniting the sky itself, gleaming off the ice, and almost causing for a moment, a bunch of rainbows throughout the entirety of the forest as the ice crystallized. Kind of makes the light glimmer from the fire itself as it blares a hole right through the dragon's chest. The creature roars out angrily as you hit it, James. Its eyes basically glued towards you as it looks or as the firebolt makes contact.
I'm going to then do another 5-foot step back and cast Elation. Everybody, you have 5 more feet of speed while you're within 80 feet of me. And you get a plus to your strength and dex for all allies.
How much? Plus?
And some morale bonus. Plus 2.
Okay.
To your strength and dex, plus 5 to your movement speed.
Okie dokie.
I have a 75-foot movement speed right now.
A lot of movement speed, man.
Yeah, it is. Alright. James, as you cast this, the dragon's eyes seem to lock onto you, kind of glaring for a moment. It roars out in response, but nothing else happens as you cast your spell. All of you begin to feel your bodies lighten and begin to feel the speed, the kind of hastened speed that you gained as you're able to move a little bit faster. As James kind of takes his step back. Alright, James, is that the end of your turn?
That's 2 actions with 2 5-foot steps with
Okay.
my actions, so yes.
Melvin, as you look onto this scene, about 10 feet in front of you and about 20 feet about 10 feet to the right is Roloman and James kind of standing there staring up at the dragon flying above them or near above them. To your left, Another 10 feet, you see Snow and Cinder kind of standing over next to the icy toad's corpse. As you look on, you stand here with with trees on either side of you, a bit of an icy canopy above you, but the dragon within clear view of sight. What would you like to do?
How far in the air is the dragon?
30 feet up in the air.
30 feet up.
Mm-hmm.
So they're even 30 feet from Rollman and James?
They are about, in total, it's about 40 feet from Rollman and James. It'd be roughly about the same equidistance from you in comparison, since you're a little bit further to the left of them.
Cool. Well, Melvin will point his finger, and I need a reflex save.
Damn it! Alright.
His finger.
Let's see if I can not roll a nat 1 this time.
Do it again. Do it again.
That's a 21.
I think that'll succeed. So it'll be half damage.
Okay. Oh no.
Which despair?
Let me see. My math.
You are acid splashing me again, I swear to God, Melvin.
Acid.
Okay, so it does succeed.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. No. Yep. Okay. A giant fireball bursts out from my finger.
Holy shit! Oh!
Fireball!
Fire!
He takes half damage, and I rolled like shit.
Actually, technically, he takes full damage. Cause he takes that full damage because he's weak to fire. So he does take the 18. Instead of just taking the because I think that's the equivalent. 9 plus 4. No, it's 13. My apologies. 13 points of damage. As this creature screeches out, the fire hitting its body igniting, you hear it roar out at all of you as another what looks to be a large blackened square appears on its stomach. A bit of the reddish flesh underneath bleeding as it seems to start dropping, the blood hitting the ice and beginning to cause the ice to sizzle a little bit as it does so.
Alright.
Do it again!
And
Do it.
okay, no, it's too far. Well, I guess I'm gonna need another fortitude save.
Fortitude or reflex?
Or reflex.
Okay. I can do fortitude. Get please.
Just gonna point a second finger gun.
It's 26. Oh no. Melvin just kind of, after putting the first one down, pulls up the other hand and points and pulls. Oh fuck!
There you go.
All right, 25 and half. Let's see.
12
That's
and a half.
12. So plus another 6. So that's 18. Okay. As the creature roars, the other one kind of hitting the same spot. Now you can see as bits of bone and something seemingly like bumping, like almost a muscle pop going up and down. The sounds of something now thudding as blood kind of just starts to drain out and loads onto the ice and onto towards the stone pillar in the center. The water begins to turn a reddish color as Melvin, I assume, ends his turn.
Yes.
All right. James just had an oh shit moment in his head, and he can explain that in the chat as the fire toad is up. And it is going to make a very hard decision here. And it is going to flee like the coward it is as it realizes it can't take on a snow leopard. And is going to turn and start riveting south as fast as its little behind can go. Unfortunately, it can only make it 20 feet. So it makes it to the edge of the lake and ends its turn. And then again... Oh, actually, no, wait. I can run. Hold up.
No sprint?
Yeah, you
No.
can run.
It is
4
going
times
to
you're
run,
resisting.
and that is 4 times, so it heads 80 feet, and it disappears into the dense tree line and vanishes off, escaping as fast as it can.
Bob needs to be the next Monster Monday character.
Bob.
Bob's gonna come up later. Don't worry. He's gonna come back to bite.
He's gonna be
Monday.
the big bad evil guy.
Oh, totally. As that
This will become
ends,
a real problem for Sunday.
the creature's turn. At the top of the initiative, the tower comes to a halt as it holds about 40 feet in the air. The egg begins to glow, and the ice now begins to almost melt instantly. The water beginning to bubble and turn red in coloration as a light is beginning to kind of expand out from the egg itself as it begins to crack up above. The sounds of something almost like screaming coming from the top of the tower as this light begins to kind of come out from it. Rollman, you are up first.
Does the dragon look concerned?
The dragon is looking over at that and then looking at you and looks to be looking between the two. Give me a sense motive to see what else you can gather, though.
All right.
I won't consider this an action. I'll give this to you as a free action for it.
I appreciate it.
That's
14.
Dragon does, and I assume, does the dragon look concerned? You're referring, does the dragon look concerned about what's going on with the tower?
Yeah.
The dragon does look to be weighing its options. You'd gather it's just as surprised as you are that this is happening, and probably is looking at this like there seems to be a bit of confusion. Beyond that, you can't seem to get much more worried on the creature.
I'll shout in Draconic, try and stop it. Bad thing happened if that explode, probably, and I'm gonna run to the woods.
As you turn and start running 30 feet, or rather, no, you have 40 feet.
Plus the 5.
Yep. As you turn and start running at 3 times speed or 4 times speed?
4 times.
4 times for your life. Yeah. You all see as Roman turns and vanishes into the forest as he goes off into it. The sounds of the snow crunching under his feet as you can slightly see him beginning to climb up the embankment of snow back towards the farming setup, or where the farming village was.
I'll try and take cover behind a tree in case there's some sort of explosion.
Yeah, diving in between the thicket as best you can. Okay. All right.
And that's my turn.
Okay. The dragon is up. And we're going to see if actually it has any spells it can actually do to help in this situation. Shit. It does. Alright. We are going to... Wait, 1 sec. I just want to see... The creature begins to chant, and as it does, you watch the creature kind of look about, magic beginning to flow from its hands as raw arcane energy begins to flow out. It speaks out the words Dispel Magic and Draconic. And as it does this, you watch as a spell circle suddenly appears of black ink and almost black light around the the diamond-shaped lake, almost perfectly matching to the points of the 4 goslings, or 4 goose points. And then the circle, as you all look down, expands out to something that goes way off into the distance and is looks to be massive. You'd guess maybe is continent spanning, as this thing looks to be huge, only seeing the smallest portion of it, as one single rune seems to expand down behind it, over towards the mountain itself, measuring about, as you gather, about 60 feet in length from the design of it. The dragon roars out in Draconic. Do any of you speak Draconic other than Rolaman?
Hello.
I do.
Ah, perfect. As you hear it roar out, in the name of the Saran clan, the family cannot stop it. We will need assistance.
What kind?
And it's going to once again cast higher Displace Magic Greater, or Dispel Magic Greater, as it casts a similar spell, roaring out as it does for its second action, and the spell once again fails. The creature ends its turn. The toad is dead as the dragon looks on, concerned and worriedly flapping over the tower itself. Cinder, you are up. What would you like to do?
All right. Well, clearly I'm not gonna be able to outrun this thing after I just saw it spread probably the whole continent. I know backlash is bad, but so I got the feeling earlier those statues were like the basically pinpoints, right? They're important to the ritual
For this section of it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna break one of the statues. Flaming sphere.
Okay. How are you trying to break it?
I'm just ramming the flaming sphere into it because it's made of ice.
All right. Is flaming sphere touch attack or is it just a reflex save?
Just reflex.
All right. I will make a reflex save for the ice statue.
Oh yeah.
Wait.
Okay.
-3.
Hey,
So-
that's pretty good.
As the statue cannot dodge because it can't move,
It is indeed a statue.
the sphere kind of slams into it. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah. 9 fire damage.
The statue begins to sweat and melt as the frost giant inside of it, this very naked individual that looks to have once probably been wearing something, but looks to now have been all gone, and his paint looks to be colored almost a greenish or a sickly green coloration, begins to thaw out. The statue starts to melt, but does not fully clean, though most of the appearance of the outer statue seems to kind of lose its shape.
All right, extreme measures.
Mm-hmm.
Do something a little crazier. Because you rolled it, I need another reflex save from a different spell.
Alright, I got this. I can only roll better. Oh, I got it. Never mind, I got a -6. Shit.
Just like golf, right? That's a good score.
Statue rolls better than most of the monsters.
That'll be 24 damage as a lightning bolt slams into the statue.
As it does, the statue cracks apart. The frost giant inside of it seemingly kind of zapped as it does, kind of opening his eyes and screeching out in giant, "It's coming! The creature, the cataclysm, it's here!" As the giant falls over, leaning forward as its feet are still stuck in the last bits of ice on the ground, passing out as its body begins to smoke.
Shit, James, help me!
Break statues, got it.
You know what? Snow pounces the statue.
Okay. Let's see what you got.
It's gotta try, right?
You know, why not?
Yeah.
You got snow for an attack. You might as well.
Alright, let's see. I wonder what I have to roll to hit a statue. I think it's a +7. It's an 18 for the first.
Okay. All right. That does hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Let's see. D6 +3. That'll be 7.
7. Alright, give me a second. I'm just doing my math here for something. The statue begins to crack as the top of it kind of breaks away. The individual inside, as you see this monk-like individual wearing a hefty gi on them, a thick belt, and their hands wrapped up, the head kind of beginning to poke out. And they kind of look to be fluttering their eyes awake, but as Snow looks on, Snow does notice that they don't have any pupils, as the creature just seems to kind of look on dazed. Are you going to continue the attack, I assume?
Of course I am. I'm gonna
Okay.
try. I'll just roll all 4 of these at once. I think it's a +2 for these. So 16,
That does hit.
18, and
That
then
does hit.
another 15, and then an 8.
Yes. The 8 does not hit.
Okay, 3 hits. I'll take it. That's 4 from the first,
Okay.
3 from the second,
Okay.
and 3 from the third.
The statue cracks apart, and as it does so, the monk-like individual screams out, "She's coming! We can see her!" As the body falls over, collapsing, completely dead.
Ooh.
I did the best I could. I did what I could.
James, you're up.
Well, I'm prepping 2 Kilgore's firebolts and throwing them at statues.
Okay. Is it reflex for the statues, or?
That's a touch
This is
attack.
to hit.
You kept making sure.
If you miss a statue, I'm gonna be very upset.
See, how good is James' aim? Oh, well. You missed
Well,
one.
you missed one.
I hit with 1 though, so
Yup.
damn it.
James, I have a question for you. Is this an arcane spell, or is this a cleric spell?
For all of them, they would qualify as divine for me, but technically it would be from the arcane spell list.
They are the wizard sorcerer specifically. You're just able to use them.
Yep.
You watch as the statue absorbs the fire almost immediately, sucking it in as it does. It envelops and circles around it and turns to a bluish color as the statue begins to glow.
Never mind. Don't help. Go away.
I take a 5-foot step back with the second shot missing, because I imagine that's what Cinder shouts and makes me miss.
As you hear, Cinder shout out, sensing the magic begin to glow on the object. You watch as your second bolt goes wide, bouncing off into a tree in the back. As you see a small toad kind of jump in the air, screeching out as it ribbits, and then runs
Can I roll
seems
damage
to
for it?
dissipate. You do not. It is fire immune.
It is a fire toad.
It is a fire toad. But James, as you take your 5-foot step back, kind of watching with caution and kind of figuring out what's going in, taking in the whole scene.
While I do that, do I still see the sigil on the ground?
You do.
I'll drag a foot across it if I move over it.
I will
and
say
see if
it
that
is,
breaks
it is
line.
glowing. It's not an actual like physical sigil. It's just a glowing like light
How about
like
you
sigil.
read it, James? Maybe you
Okay.
can read it.
So as you kind of move
Well,
the
can
snow
I
at
read
first,
what it says?
you as you try and move the snow, thinking there's a carving there, kind of moving your foot around, you notice there's no carving in the stone underneath. It seems the dirt itself looks unbothered, but you do notice that a lot of the dirt has sprinklings of blue coloration that are glimmering.
Lyrium!
As James shouts that out. James, we're gonna end your turn there for that one, since that was the action you got this time. Keep that in mind for the reading for next one. Melvin, you're up.
I'm just gonna start inching my way back.
Okay. As you start, are you using your full movement, or
Yeah.
are you just full running?
Not full running.
Okay, because I was gonna say you saw Rollman run past you into the forest and just dip. So, but if you're just kind of use your movement speed, I think you have what 30 feet, right? Or is it 20?
20, so 25 with that spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you kind of lightly float over the snow, and then remember again, you have to actually step and make it look like you're stepping in the snow once more. You begin to slowly find yourself moving, backing away the full 40 feet, or 50 feet, into the forest to where you get to the embankment and see Rollman kind of climbing up the side of it. All right. As you end your turn. Everyone give me a spot check, please.
Oh.
Da, da, da.
8, 22. Okay, Cinder succeeds. Roland
3.
fails.
Nice.
James succeeds. All right, Melvin and and Rollman, as you're kind of focused on trying to get away from the situation, backing away so far back into the forest and focusing on the dragon and the magic itself. There's so much going on. It's really almost hard to really keep track of one thing in particular. James and Cinder, you both notice on the outskirt of the tree line, north of the lake itself, about 20 feet from where James is currently standing. In fact, there looks to be a large, almost slightly armored with large, heavy, thick hide plating on its back and long tusk-like teeth coming out of its mouth. A massive, or rather, in this case, actual size, huge saber-toothed tiger coming out of the forest, kind of as it stalks along the sides, watching you, James. Beside it, you also notice a very hefty brown beaver that looks to be huge in its own right, with its massive tail smacking into the snow. As the two creatures notice you looking at them, the beaver speaks up and goes, "This is Lord Yum Yum Hummerpaw, and you will fall to him this day."
There's another problem here. Back the fuck up.
And if you're not familiar with the song, I found this today, and I felt this has had me laughing my ass off all day.
Mr. Hammerpaw, we're all about to die to magic.
He looks, he kind of like waves or flicks a large, elongated tail that looks to almost have what looks to be a small, you realize there's a hand on the back of it, kind of side to side. And you hear the giant beaver once again speak. "As the Great Wall, look, I speak for the Lord Yum Yum Hammerpaw, and he states that you will die regardless. Prepare yourselves."
I'm gonna look up at the dragon.
Dragon is not paying attention in the slightest as we hit
Makes
round
sense.
3 of the
It's
initiative.
dragon.
Don't smash that statue near you. It's what's keeping me alive.
Rollman, as you hear James shout this, as you look back kind of like slightly from behind the tree as you're climbing up the embankment, you see James is shouting this into the forest as another voice is speaking out from almost nowhere.
Did I see the bounds of the spell like go like fucking way out?
Oh yeah, clearly it was. I mean, it was a bright blackened light that seemed to almost kind of glimmer for miles into the forest.
Well, there's no use out running it. All right, time to run back.
As Roman kind of gets to the top of the embankment, kind of stares over, sees the light glimmering, and kind of just sighs, climbing back down as he starts jogging backwards.
Yep, so I'll sprint all the way back to where I was at the start of the other round.
As you do, coming along the side of James.
Actually, I will, before I get too close, I will use an immediate action to go invisible for a whole round. So, I'm
okay.
invisible.
As you vanish, kind of run and continuing over towards James, you notice off to the side the two figures that James is clearly staring at. One of them, a large beaver that seems to be yelling out orders in common, surprisingly enough, as it speaks. As you you come up next to James, standing there.
I'll end my turn.
Okay. All right. As you do, the dragon, realizing it can't do anything about the spell circle, the traditional way is going to do an untraditional thing.
Break it.
Statue's going to have to make 2 reflex saves.
I will throw in a bluff and act like I'm injured when the statues break.
All right. Melvin, it's the Ned situation all over.
Like Melvin, reverse Featherfall to freedom. Reverse Featherfall to freedom.
Levitate!
You watch as the dragon roars out its forced breath, kind of hitting into the tall stone pillar, watching as it cracks and begins to break underneath. The entire tower begins to crumble down as it shatters. The egg begins to tilt and begins to expand out as the light from it begins to almost fully envelop the egg itself. The dragon roars in fear as it does so, ending its turn. Unfortunately,
the dragon's scared. That's not
I
good.
don't have a quick movement for the dragon, but he is turning around in his square, even though he can't run. And he is looking to the west as he is getting ready to fly away. As he ends his turn, Lord Yum Yam is going to jump on James.
Do I get an attack
The
opportunity?
statue.
This is a pounce. So it goes over unless no, because you were on the left of James, so this would be on the right of James. So, in this case, no, not unless the creature moves off of James and tries to run away. Well, unless you have some reason that the creature pouncing into a square next to you would give you an opportunity attack. If you can find something, let me know. But as the creature is going to pounce, or Lord Yum Yum, Hammerpaw, is going to pounce on James. Let me find my attack. Don't worry, James. I only get a +6 to do this. Oops. Not 64. That would be unfortunate. 16 to hit for your armor.
Dink.
As the creature kind of jumps over onto you, your armor being as thick as it is, expecting to kind of lob its entire weight onto you, you feel the creature kind of push, and as you're kind of like slightly shoved back, feeling your back kind of taking the full weight, as you steady yourself, the creature kind of falls back onto its butt and stares at you as it grimaces, its eyes kind of glimmering as it does so. The creature seems to kind of salivate a little bit as it licks its outer large saber teeth and stares at you, James, ending its turn. Yeah, because I can't pounce at the same time. Or I can't hide again. Okay, I want to make sure pounce was full action. As it ends its turn, Cinder, you're up. What would you like to do?
Are all the statues broken?
The one statue that James tried to hit in the north and the statue on the western end of the lake are not. No.
And they're not damaged at all yet. All right.
Northern one is glowing
Break the
slightly,
tower.
in fact. The tower in the center is already broken and crumbling down with the egg falling currently.
Yep.
Animalize the baby.
Save the baby.
No, don't save it.
Do I know how sturdy dragon eggs are? I'm assuming very, but
Most poets, you note, would accommodate them to the exact replica of a stone. It's hard. It's pretty hard to smash one of these things unless you're really trying to.
yeah.
Because, for reference, a dragon egg, for those who don't know, has the same AC as an adult dragon, is what, if I remember right, the ruling is. Because their height is supposed to be the same strength, but they have a higher dex bonus because they're tiny, they're smaller. Which is weird because it's an egg.
Yeah.
Or size bonus, not small. Dex.
Yeah, that's what.
0 dex bonus is still higher than a -1 for size.
True.
I'm gonna ram the fire orb into one of the statues. We're gonna keep trying.
Okay. As you launch Fire Sphere over towards it, which statue are you hitting out of curiosity? Northern or Western?
Western. Why
Okay.
not?
As you slam into it, it needs to make a reflex save. I assume you're doing it twice.
Well, no, it's this and a different attack, but yeah, 2 reflex saves because the lightning afterward.
D20 plus...
Might not need lightning, depending.
Alright, that's an 8 and a 5 for negative.
Yeah, that's about what's expected.
These statues, man, they've got good dex scores. Don't worry about it.
They're gonna succeed once, and I'm gonna fucking be terrified.
Crit success.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I've been waiting for. Let's do fire
happen.
first.
9,
pretty
okay. Alright.
Now,
And
will
then-
it hold for the much more impressive lightning?
As
Oh,
the
Jesus.
magic slams into it, the third statue, having what looks to be a frost giant version of Kesnanok inside of it, begins to shatter apart, and as it does, the individual shouts out, "No, not us!" as it crashes, or as the body crashes to the ground.
Alright. Well, Snow's gonna pounce the last one. We're trying.
Okay.
The glowing one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, didn't think that would happen, but it's fine.
I do have a question. Does Snow have spell resistance?
I don't think so. They're a leopard.
Okay, cool.
No,
Just have to
they
make
don't have
sure.
spell
Go ahead. Go ahead and roll your pounce if you'd like.
I feel like this level
Yeah.
might die.
Probably. At least I can resummon Snow. It won't be permanent. Let's see. +7, 20 for the first.
20 hits.
Okay. 9 damage for the first.
Okay.
It's the best roll yet for damage for
that's
snow.
pretty good.
Please give me a fortitude save for snow.
Yeah, 24.
24 barely succeeds. Okay, go ahead and roll
Oh,
for
dear
your
God.
other attack.
Snow only has a +5 to that. Oh no.
Well, uh-oh.
21 to hit for the second.
Second one hits.
Okay, 4 damage.
You watch as the northern statue begins to break apart. Please give me another fortitude save, this time at disadvantage.
Yeah, so -2. I think I have to nat 20.
You do?
I did not. I dirty 20'd. It's not a nat 20.
As snow goes flying back, the magic from your summoning them vanishes almost completely as the creature's body dissipates into a almost starry mist. The magic kind of absorbing over towards the statue as it reforms itself and begins to glow a blackened color.
All right, I'm gonna hope one of you can finish that one.
As Cinder just looks over and watching the snow slam into a tree, drop to the ground, dissipate, and then looks back and sees the thing reforming and glowing, shouting this out towards you lot with concern in his eyes. The panic clear on Cinder's face. James, you're up.
I'm going to wait, I can't see him.
Nope. I'm invisible.
Nope, and Lord Yum Yam is right next to you on your right, staring at you hungrily.
It's only been a few rounds since I did that, so I still have a bit more strength than normal. I'm gonna point at the statue, and then to see if your Lord Yum Yum will go after that, I guess. And I'll try to read the magic as I do on the magic circle to see if destroying the statues will actually assist us.
So you're gonna try and convince Lord Yum Yum to attack the statue by pointing at it. All right. Give me a.
Never mind.
Oh no. Okay. I was just making sure I understood the situation. That's why I was stating it again.
I'll read the magic and see if breaking the statue is actually the best thing to do.
Okay. Give me a knowledge arcana. Actually, no. Sorry, spellcraft. Never mind. My apologies. It is spellcraft. 18. As you look down, James, to your own horror, you recognize this as a very high level. You probably guesstimate it something of a epic level spell of true resurrection.
Uh-oh.
Well, we bring her back. Something good, hopefully.
Can I discern the target, since their true name would need to be in the spell?
This portion is that's the only reason you're able to recognize is the one symbol on it from where you're standing. You're unsure, but the size of the spell circle would have to mean this person has to be on a magic level to be equivalent to a god beyond gods. This is huge amount of magic, and you're that would take power of the circle, let alone activate it.
Okay, so
Melvin again in the background. Peanut Gallery's panicking.
That doesn't tell me if breaking the statue would stop it at this point.
I will state, you can still clearly see the magic circle points around where the statues were. Though the center tower crumbling, you do see that there is a crack, it looks like, in the spell circle, or in the spell diamond of this chunk, specifically in the center. It looks like the spell is starting to break. You're not sure what's going to happen if that happens. There's a lot of magic going on right now, but this could theoretically break the spell.
You got anywhere you can put the magic, James, without it exploding in a bad
You have
way?
an offensive find spell by any chance?
No, I don't. That's the sad thing. Rollman, if you can hear me, go break the statue.
What the fuck?
Well,
I don't. How big is Lord Yum Yum?
Yum Yam, he is large. For your own knowledge, he technically is huge.
I don't think I can throw him.
No.
God, for medium.
But that's
checking
that's a
something.
free action. I'll give you this the spell for the spellcraft check. What else? What would you like to do with your 2 actions?
Okay, I can't move the recipient horizontally. Damn it! Fuck it. So it's only absorbing magic that seems to be cast at it, or if it doesn't break it.
That's arcane.
That's arcane. So
Because
My
I will
spells
say,
are worse.
you did just watch Cinder cast 2 spells, and they did not
Yep.
seem to be absorbed. They seem to crack the thing.
oh fucking damn it!
James quickly pulls out his little holy book with the notes in there. It says, like, a couple of them falling out as he grabs them out of the snow thing.
You got 2 options. You either have Waving Sphere or you fight Lord Yum Yam. Make your choice.
If you want me to deal with the fucking statue, I can't deal with both, man.
I can take Lord Yum Yam. It looks like he's gonna have issues eating me, so
Well, then there you go. Fight Lord Yum Yam.
I guess I pull my hammer out and I start beating Lord Yum Yam.
Alright, let's take some swings. Let's see what you got. Surprisingly,
Oh,
huge
shit.
animals do not have a high AC.
No.
That
You
that
hit him?
hits.
My God.
He's finally hit something on the first try.
I
Holy
assume James is like shocked after he hits.
Swing
That would
and
be
a
plus
hit.
my strength, so that would be 8.
8 points. Okay. As you slam your hammer into Lord Yum Yum, feeling it impact, your eyes kind of closing as you just wildly wallop at it, expecting to miss. James, for the first time, you feel an impact slam into your arms as it shakes. And as you open your eyes excitingly, you see a very angry looking cat staring at you, completely unfazed. Its cheeks slightly puffed up as you turn to swing again. Let's see what you got.
Oh, God.
Oh
See if
my
you confirm.
God. Confirm? Yeah, let's see.
See if you get actually a crit.
Do I just roll a d20 or do I have
Yeah,
my base?
D-
You
20,
add
yeah.
your modifier.
Yeah, and you just have to beat its you just have to beat its AC again.
Hey.
That is a success. You didn't crit the
This is
second time,
great.
so that's a crit. So go ahead and roll either double dice or double the damage.
Crit for this is 3 times actually. My
Alright.
hammer.
So 3 times you can either times 3 or do 3
I
Roll
rolled
this
3d8.
Plus 3 times your strength.
Yeah.
And that'd be plus 6, so that's 20 damage.
20 damage as you turn with excitement and close your eyes again and like shout out as you swing and smack into him. This time you feel and hear as Lord Yum Yam slams into the snow, like making the ground kind of rumble as its head rumbles into the ground hard. The creature completely dazed as it like kind of stands up and looks at you with a bit of a caution as it kind of leans back a bit. The side of its face puffy, and you can see its saber tooth kind of cracked already.
I'm taking those teeth, lad. Come here.
Oh.
You say this staring at the creature. Unfortunately, you used your roll already, so we'll end your turn there, James. All right, Melvin, you're up. Remember, you're 40 feet back into the trees. You just watched Rollman go rushing off and then disappear suddenly as he cast something on himself. Hearing the spell invisibility as he spoke it for just a moment and vanishing. You watch as James is just hammering into this giant cat now that you can see standing in front of him. As the scene of the tower kind of beginning to crumble, and the magic or the statues themselves being attacked kind of unfolds all around. The water still bubbling in the lake, a reddish color. What would you like to do, Melvin?
Boost my strength.
Well, Melvin's just gonna kind of look around now that Rolleman's gone. Like, well, I guess everybody's staying. Then I'll make my way back towards them.
You kind of jog back another 25 feet, and then another 50, and then another 25 back.
How close would I be to the guy that James is fighting? if I move 25.
If you move up 25, it would be roughly... He'd be about 15 feet, roughly, at an angle to the right of you, yeah. Because James took so many 5-foot steps back, yeah. So...
I need a will save from him.
Oh, no, I don't like that. You know the one thing he's actually good at?
Is it not will, I'm hoping?
Yeah, that's
Oh
a
my
31.
Oh, man. Lord Yum Yum.
Yum Yam,
Lord Yum
sir.
I said Yum Yum.
Yeah.
Yum
I said
Yam,
Yum Yam.
Hammer Paw. You gotta sit
I said Yum Yum.
I
Fair.
said yum yum. I tell
Alright,
you.
Yum Yum.
Well, it fails. I tried to cast Glimpse of Fear on him.
Oh, as you try to cast, you see his dazed look kind of continuing to stare at James, and as you watch, or you feel your magic kind of hit, expecting an effect as you watch Lord Yum Yam just kind of stares and doesn't seem to be at all phased as you kind of knowingly realize your magic did not go off.
Just annoyed, and that is my turn.
You stare at him annoyed and back at your wand or staff in your hand, kind of looking at it and glimpsing back, irritable. The giant beaver is going to, who called himself the Great Wall, is up, and he is now also going to charge James. And let's see.
Is
Yes?
Lord Yum Yam in the way of his charge?
Well, that's what. Well, he was already standing up to the side of Lord Yum Yum.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh. When he stepped in, not literally charge as in the attack charge. He's just going forward.
Okay.
Yeah. No. He does not have that, unfortunately. As he is going to move up towards next to James, moving up his full 25 feet. And is then going to do the one thing he is good at. He is going to try and bite you as he watches his leader go down.
I was really hoping you'd getting closer to be like, you got this, Yum Yam.
That's a 26 to hit.
Ooh.
That actually will hit. Fine.
As
For
he
the first time in a
bites,
while.
as he bites down onto your other arm when you slam into Lord Yum Yum, as you're not paying attention, James, you feel the crunch around your arm, taking taking 11 points of damage as the creature chomps down on your armor, on your arm, gashing it as you feel blood trickle around it. The creature pulling away and goes, "Lord Yum Yam Hammerpaw rules these forests. Bow before him." And ends his turn. The fire toad is going to continue to
And
do
that
what
literally
he was
would
doing.
just hit me because elation boosting my fucking AC to 25. Oh god.
Toad is going to do exactly... and misses, unfortunately, and he's going to do it once more.
Is he hitting, man?
And he misses again. Okay, ends his turn. As we go back to the top of the initiative, now I've got an unfortunate factor. We're gonna see something. Okay. The spell begins to crackle and begins to glow as it begins to activate. The sounds in the distance as you all hear a loud draconic roar, almost cracking the entirety of the skies as the ground around you begins to rumble, and the red pool of water seems to dissipate into the ground, almost as if the cracking has broken underneath the lake. The egg itself that was completely glowing seems to fall down into the lake and disappear into what looks to be a sinkhole at the center of it that you catch the glimpse of Cinder off to the side, vanishing underneath. The statue seems to crack away that had the physical of Eider in it. The body, though, turning instead of being able to speak, seems to immediately turn to a liquid mush and sucks down into the ground itself. As it does so, the draconic roar begins to get louder, and the sounds of what a mountain cracking apart in the distance begins to almost expand out. The snowy blizzard all around you seems to almost go absolutely silent, as if to echo a new creature being born, a threat to a world that has yet to see it. As the top of the initiative, Rolaman, you're up. What would you like to do?
I couldn't break the statue. It kind of went away.
You stand looking at it in contemplation.
Is the magic circle gone?
The magic circle is still glowing. The spell is still going off from what can be till.
I'd like to look at it out of the corner of my eye and see if I can see any weakness.
Give me a search check. We'll call this your one free roll for it.
Come on. 13. God damn it.
13. As you look about, all you see, Rolliman, is as you glimpse about like past Cinder and Snow, is you see Snow, Cinder, yourself, James, Melvin, in pieces, scattered about, and a massive dragon of blackened coloration almost clouding out the skies, its wings looking to be almost 70, 80 feet in their own right. Massive dark scales that aren't exactly black, but due to with the shadow and the darkness all around, it's too hard to get a glimpse of the coloration. As you see this creature breathe out a lava-like liquid coating the ground, the last thing you see as you look about, kind of before you blink, is what looks to be, and as you immediately recognize, the Regan Utham himself being torn apart by what looked to be smaller dragons looking almost identical to the one flying overhead, breathing down this magma or lava-like material. As you blink, your eye kind of watering up, you see nothing after that, as if the vision has dissipated.
Well, shit.
Inner monologue.
This is some bullshit. This is main story stuff. Why do we gotta deal with it?
Well, if someone could break a single statue, broke 3 of them.
I tried.
Alright. Seeing as the statue's gone, I'm gonna get behind Lord Yum Yum, still invisible, and then what attack his butt? I'll be using
Don't tag him. As you get behind him, I will say, actually, that's it's funny you mention that. You get behind him, you see the tail with the hand at the end of it. It seems to glow a bit of a reddish coloration and seems to move like almost a gemstone-like material. As you recognize red lyrium moving about, and the hand is going to immediately make an attack of opportunity as you come near. It's at Lord Yum Yum's ass.
using my swift action.
Oh,
okay. Do it that way. Which using my amulet. Amulet of the Horizon Walker, I can move half my movement speed without provoking an attack of opportunity.
Oh, okay. Okay, got you. All right, never mind then. All right.
So move behind him, and then as a full round action, I'm going to attack him with my Kama.
Okay.
With the certain kind of strike called a decisive strike.
Okay.
So I take a -2 to the attack roll, but I have +2 from being invisible, so that cancels that out, which is nice. So I have a +4 from strength. So many freaking modifiers, man.
You are still invisible, right? Correct?
Yes.
Okay, so it won't. Never mind,
I won't be invisible after this attack, though.
Damn it, I can't use the ability I want to. I set up specifically for this, if you went for the ass.
Ass attack.
Yep.
Stab it in the butt.
Oh, one more. Yes. 29 to hit.
29 just hits. No, I'm kidding. That hits by a long shot.
Okay. All right, so this is going to do double damage.
Okay.
Plus 6. That's all of that. Oh, plus 2 more from strength. One more from strength.
Oh no.
So double this. Wow, it's terrible. So 22 damage. And I heal
As you
10 of that.
tear into him at the back with the commas, stabbing into the back of his legs, you cut into something that feels almost stringy as you pull away, and blood just starts spurting and covering you as it does, Roloman. The creature from the front, James, suddenly roars out and blood just coats all over your face as it does. Lord Yum Yum collapses onto the ground, the one cracked tooth that you had hit kind of breaking as the creature slams into the ground. It lays on still, and the beaver, known as the Great Wall, screams out.
As Roma is now visible, he says, "Oh, I didn't expect him to fucking die."
I hit it pretty damn hard.
No, you didn't, James.
It is.
And I looked to the beaver. Well, I just killed your lord. Wanna fight me? And I'll be looking at him expectantly and adopting a certain style.
Okay, is that ending your turn?
Yes.
Alright, as you kind of ready yourself, comma in hand, looking at the creature, antagonizing it, it roars out as you ready yourself expectingly. The dragon is going to look out, and it is going to make a reflex save as it gets shot at on its first turn. That fails. And you watch as the cobalt dragon from the sky explodes into a fiery ball, smoke protruding out almost as if the creature's insides combusted. Its body expanding out as fire from its chest blows the pecs out, and the bones expand out. The body goes dropping into the ground, collapsing as you hear the smoldering coming from the snow and the fire mixing together. The sounds of the flesh kind of sizzling as it continues. The creature lays dead. In the distance, you see Jakix standing on top of the icy canopy, staring at the dragon with a glare. As the dragon is dead, the toad's dead, Lord Yum Yum is dead. Cinder, you up there? Lord Cinder.
Lord Cinder.
I mean, you ever heard the Cinder King? I can't be the only one who watches Vox Machina.
I have, but
I watched the first season.
Same. Cinder may have stepped away. Let me see. Looks like he did. But he didn't mention for how long. Alright, we'll take a quick minute break real quick until he comes back. If anybody needs to run to the restroom or grab. Alright, welcome back everyone. And Cinder, you are now up with Lord Yum Yum dead.
If I head over to the hole, is it like gone, or is there a path going where the egg went?
As you look down, you can see a sinkhole in the center of where the lake was and where you assume the stone pillar had originally come out of. It looks like it cracks and goes into the Underdark and goes deeper.
Fuck. You know, I was hoping the water would stay. I had a spell for water breathing. I was going to go steal the egg.
I will say the water was blood-colored a moment ago and boiling, so...
I know, but
It
I
had
figured
dragon blood in it, so you know.
surviving would, whatever.
I will
state,
state, the corpse of the dragon, I will also note, as this is actually important as I'm looking at my diagram here, of the map, does fall exactly on the point of the northernmost statue when he drops.
Huh.
Now, I only mention this as you saw when the blood fell into the water, it seemed to cause the water to have a chain effect of beginning to boil.
Alright. You said it's medium, the dragon?
The dragon, let me look. Yes, it is medium. That is correct.
I guess I'll go try to roll it off of the statue and away from the circle.
Okay. As you kind of circle around the water, Jakix kind of seems to be eyeing you from above as he looks on. But as you go over to it, go ahead and give me a strength check as you kind of get next to this burning corpse. The smell of it, kind of almost acidic in your nose, but also the slight scent of cooking meat can't help but give you a bit of a grumble to your stomach, depending on what kind of druid you are, of course. I don't, or if you're the type who believes in butcheries are evil, this may also cause you to gag in this situation.
I don't gag, but I'm not exactly enticed either. 22.
22. All right, as you start to push the dragon body out of the way, kind of giving a good heave, the body seems to roll over pretty easily. Some of the fluids leaking out of the chest of it as you see the innards have seemingly liquidated completely from the creature, from whatever that spell was that was cast on it. But as you tip it over, the liquid inside seemingly giving you some assistance as it does, and kind of almost rolling it over twice more into a tree until it stops. All right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep getting it. That'll be my whole turn, getting it as far away as possible.
Okay.
From the circle.
As you end your turn, James, you still stand next to the great wall of the giant beaver on your left. Lord Yum Yum completely dead. What do you want to do?
I don't think I need to hit him because it looks like he's about to go fight Rollman most likely. So this lyrium dust. Let's talk about that.
All right. What do you try to do?
I'm gonna disturb it without anything magical. I'm just going to see if breaking the line does anything.
I will say, I said it was mixed into the soil. I didn't say it was like a specific pattern, to me very clear.
Yeah, I'm just taking the axe
Okay.
and
Just gotta push
making
dirt
a
around.
gash in the dirt.
Okay. Yep. Make an attack on the dirt.
Look,
God
it's
damn it.
the best thing I've got to
We're
try
all
and stop
gonna
the leak.
die. Me checking if the ground is hard. It's hard. As you slam into the dirt, surprisingly, you do not break the dirt's AC, and your axe barely manages to make a mere dent into it, as if you just put your boot into it. Only the surface dust being moved, and nothing seems to happen.
Alright, now to see if I can change the fucking target of the true resurrection to something else.
Okay. This will be an action at this point because you used your first check for your free action, if you will. What are you trying to do? Or if you can either do a spellcraft if you're trying, or a knowledge arcana. Spellcraft would be the chance to try and figure out how to alter this specific spell. Knowledge arcana will give you, or knowledge religion. I'll take either. Will give you an option of how to adjust, or how you'd adjust a normal true resurrection spell.
I'll go for just this one, spellcraft.
Okay.
That was a good number.
You
It's
did.
not bad.
Unfortunately, you learn nothing.
Melvin, alter the fucking spell.
How about you ask all three of the casters to do it? There are three of you.
James, you've got another. You've still got another action. You haven't moved, so.
I'll try again, shouting out whatever I figure out to try and help. As I say, change the target of the spell to someone who's someone else.
All right, give me a spellcraft.
22.
You still can't figure out anything, man. The spell is too large. The runes are too massive to be able to figure out where to disturb it. It doesn't look right in any way to you to the original spell. As you end your turn. Okay, Melvin, you're up.
Does it look like any kind of spell I've ever seen?
Give me a knowledge arcana or knowledge religion or a spellcraft for this specific spell. If you want to figure out how it works. But I'll take knowledge arcana or knowledge religion for your own knowledge.
I'm gonna go with spellcraft.
Interesting, okay.
21.
As you look at this spell, you've never seen a spell like this. Even as you try to kind of tap into Zebril and try to reach into the few memories he has, he openly lets you see anything of his arcane and divine knowledge that he's willing to allow. As he kind of lets you see through it, there's no spell that he recognizes that would be similar. He is unsure what this is. You are Melvin. As you look on, you are fully unsure. as for what this spell is or how it works.
And do I see any runes that would stand out to me other than the ones we already know?
Other than the true resurrection, trying to think here. Give me a second. I'm going through my mental knowledge of what has Monday do. What did Monday do before you joined this party? Who did they meet? Give me a moment. Yeah, no, you don't recognize any of the other symbols or anything in this. Nothing kind of catches your attention, and to Zebral's knowledge, currently... Wait, no, fuck you, Wolf. Shit, I forgot about Eider. You do recognize... fuck. Melvin, you recognize the word for the name. You don't know what the word is, as neither does Zebral, but you recognize the name, the same name that he had seen on the grave site of the pyroclastic dragon, about a few days west of here that Sunday had gone and dealt with, where they had almost seen the opening of a portal to Cataclysm. Which I think you were there as with Ned for reference.
Yeah, Ned was there.
So yeah, that situation.
And I had a feeling that's where this circle was going.
Yeah.
I would like to change that symbol.
Okay, I will say it
can.
is multiple symbols, like as far as it is a long name, and it is written multiple times throughout, even going on for miles. But what are you trying to rewrite this one to, or one of the symbols to?
Olar.
Alar would be the first one. I don't know Gygax is dead, or it would probably be that.
I was gonna say,
So-
Alar for name-wise is only 4 syllables. This name is 33.
Technically,
Lara's a longer name.
Alar is he who meets or sees gods.
he who sees gods, I think it is his
that
name.
More H-E.
I don't think it's 33, but I'm saying like Alar's technically not.
Does the space count as a character?
No.
Oh.
1, so it's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 letters, roughly? So you'd have to figure out how to get rid of the other 20. Sorry, 17. No, 20, yeah, never mind, yeah. I can do basic math, I promise.
Believe in you.
Does True's work? Can we put an and then another name?
Technically, yes. I mean, in theory, how long? It's just the symbols from what you can tell, Melvin, with the roll. And from Zebral's own knowledge, this spell seems to be based on it has to fit the certain amount of symbols more than anything else.
All right, what's 17 more characters for a name?
So I would point at the grouping of symbols and be like, these are the ones that I think we need to change. But it's got to be exact.
Let me check something, because there's another name I could possibly throw in there as an answer.
Yeah.
I'm counting the letters real quick. Hold on.
Oh, yes. Names.
Because he pointed it out, so I'm trying to be exact here.
True names are very important for how many letters are involved and the spelling and all that. There's a ton of issues with it, so you gotta be very careful.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Jakix will shout down while James is kind of looking at that and go, why not? I've got a name I'm happy what we can put on there. Let's do, if you don't mind, a Zilpip of House Kung Pao would be a good one to recommend.
Is he dead?
Zilpip's dead?
From my understanding, he was killed.
Yeah, put Zilpip in. He'll owe me a favor.
It's better than the dragon coming back.
Well, how many letters is that?
Jakix nods and goes, I'll fix it on one of the other sigils while you work here. We'll see whose magic goes off better. And Jakix starts kind of turning
Alar
around.
and Zilpip.
Well, you can put whatever name we want. He's heading off. Melvin,
I will do Alar and Zilpip.
Okay.
Oh, Paus Compound.
Okay. As you begin to put out the words, that is... I've got to remember how many for Zilpip. 6. And that's 4. 4, so that's 8, so that's 10. That's 13
Well,
and 10.
Ours full name is longer. Remember?
Yeah, 13 and 10, so that gives you 23. So you have 10 more letters if you want to put anything else. You could just put some random letters in there though to not to allow the effect not the effect the spell.
Okay. Unless anybody else has anything.
There's one that I think it's exactly 10 letters. That I think Monday knows died because they were there when it happened. Rentra here.
Who?
Rentra here. It was one of what's his my mercenaries underlings. One of the 2 that died in the castle.
Oh, Neff's one of his bodyguards. Yeah, one of his late bodyguards. Monday
His
met
name was
them
his name was exactly 10 letters.
Yeah, Monday met all of I think all of Neff's members during the siege and had heard about him dying. I think before they left.
Yeah, Ren and another one. I don't remember which of the 4 it was, but Ren's is exactly 10 letters, so that's the one that comes to mind.
So that could be one. That's up to you guys on who you want to put though.
Go for it.
All right. That's what I'll do.
All right. As you see Jakix vanish off, disappearing. That will end your turn, Melvin. As you begin working on this, this will take you the whole turn to fix these letters.
Do you need another roll or anything?
Yes, please give me a spellcraft roll, or use magic device. I will take either.
I'm gonna stick with spellcraft.
I figured as much. Most people don't have use magic device.
It's also charisma based, so I'm very bad at it.
Yeah, you're
Melvin,
famously charismatic. 13. Okay, it's gonna take you 3 turns to do it properly, or you can chance a rush on it, and you'll have to roll again next turn. But it'll take you the full turn for right now. So as Melvin begins to kind of move the magic, you see the blackened letters move as he closes his eyes and begins to hum something, and you begin to hear these strange noises that, to all of you, are almost like weird pinging, like high-pitched pinging noises that give you slight headaches, as he begins to speak in a strange language using a weird magic. The runes begin to move and manipulate and change as he does so. However, as you see Melvin kind of begin to focus this, you all realize quite quickly if he is interfered with at any point, this spell will probably blow up.
Does that include trying to help him?
That means moving him, punching him, stuff like that. Helping him, that depends on how you're trying to assist him.
I feel like if you punch him to try and help him, it's probably not going to do very good.
That's not helping, that's punching.
That's a barbarian's mentality, you know?
Yeah.
Distance.
But as we are still in initiative, as Melvin begins to do this, the Great Wall is going to turn and try and bite Roloman, not caring about anything that's going on.
All right. So because of what I did, my AC is lower. My AC now is only a first one misses.
13 and 25. So the first
Second
one
one
misses?
hits.
All right. Is that?
But as it hits me, I get to hit it with an opportunity attack.
Ooh, nice. All right. Well, here's it bites into your arm as you slash at the creature. It tears away. You're taking 14 damage as you watch some of your flesh pull off from this creature's mouth.
I grin, and then I hit back with both my Bastard Sword and Kama.
Oh no. Well, as you kind of pull out the Bastard Sword with the hand after it bit into it and just kind of like swing in front of you in a wide scissor-like motion at its face, the creature is not able to pull back far enough. Let's see if you can hit.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've been sensing.
18 to hit? That's the Kama.
Okay, 18 does hit.
Ooh, alright. So that'll be 1d8 plus 5 plus 1d6. 17 damage.
17. Okay.
I heal 5.
As you slash into the creature, the great wall kind of pulling back, and your cuts going across its face, slashing into its nose and into cutting across its eyes and such. The creature screeches out as it roars, kind of pulling back as it does so. It seems to, though, ready itself as it thumps its tail onto the ground defensively. Thankfully, not enough to actually do anything.
Yeah. 21 to hit with the Master Sword.
That hits. Oh no.
Okay. So that's...
Oh god, this is about to hurt. Wait, that was what? That 17 was just from the Fuck!
Yes, it was.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh shit! Uh-oh.
I craft good
16
shit,
more
thank you.
damage.
Well... as
I craft
almost to
good
add
shit.
insult to injury, as you come along, as you pull the bastard sword close to the creature, the blade goes straight into its skull, and as it pops out the back, as you feel the resistance of the skull crack apart, you withdraw the blade, and the body drops as the creature lays dead.
Disappointing.
You wipe off your blade.
All right. James, Cinder, help Melvin, whatever he's doing. I'm gonna just protect you guys.
In the distance, Lord Yum Yum the Second comes forward.
Oh no!
You better. I want round 2. I want more pelts.
Yep.
I want this.
I'll just keep watch.
Okay.
And that's the end of my turn.
All right, as you end your turn, well, rather not your turn, but rather
Oh, yeah, it's not
Beaver
my turn.
It ends its turn. The Fire Toad is going to roll its 2 attacks.
Who is it trying to hit?
Who knows,
Over
man?
there.
And it fails both yet again.
What the fuck is it doing over there?
Okay. And then it needs to roll its reflex save.
Maybe it'll die on its own. Don't worry.
And it is dead.
Oh, all right.
It's funny you mentioned.
We don't know that though.
As what you hear the sound or the light sounds of the toad ribbiting very loudly, and then suddenly the immediate silence as it seems to dissipate almost out of nowhere. Though with the current situation at hand, it's not really as noticeable to many of you as the toad's sudden sounds vanish. Though it is now eerily quiet, other than the occasional crackling of lightning and the quiet winds kind of whistling through the wind as the spell continues to glow. All right. Before we click over to the next turn, let me check my math on that.
Hopefully, good numbers are better.
Oh well. For Melvin, for your knowledge, since you rolled successfully and were able to get this, the spell, from what you can tell, is about 80% charged. As the magic begins to get thicker, and you watch as the sky is the snow starts to turn a purplish color. Darkness begins to get, the blackened sky that's already beginning to become pitch black as the day has been going on, begins to get dark, seemingly darker as this fog begins to descend down. You all watch as it becomes almost shrouded all around you in a thick darkness. The distance, loud shouting in giant as you hear people yelling and looking for people. The sounds of what you recognize as heavy armor clanking in the distance on itself, and the sounds of almost roaring crystals coming from above. It sounds like the entire nation's fucking activating in the distance.
Guys, hurry up.
As we go up to the top of the initiative, roll them in. The darkness is all around you. You can't see 5 feet in front of you now. It was bad enough with the snow, but now it's black. All you hear is the distant sounds of people shouting in giant, for people, shouting out people's names, shouting if anybody's out there. As you hear, probably as you'd guesstimate, maybe 200-300 feet from you to the east, these people are starting to gather.
Interesting.
Might be a good idea to leave soon.
I assume at this point
you're
you're back kind of to Melvin's as you kind of can still feel his heat and his body movement every once in a while as he is continuing to move these spells or these runes around.
James, Cinder, if you could help Melvin speed this up, that'd be great. We might have company soon. I can't see.
Rollman, give me a listen check. As well as a search check, assumedly, because you're on alert.
Yeah. Alert.
I'm alerted. This is the listen. Not too bad. $23 search.
And search.
Well, do you want the good news or the bad news?
I'll take the bad news first.
You're surrounded.
Oh, okay, what's the good news?
You realize you're surrounded.
Oh, that's good.
As you start to feel the light shifts and the sounds of the snow crackling around you, you recognize immediately the sounds of heavy paw prints on the ground. As you'd guesstimate, you've got maybe 10, 15 more Lord Yum Yams walking around, circling this little lake area.
All right, Roman makes the executive decision. He's gonna move forward some distance, probably, I don't know, like 30 feet, so that he's far enough away from Melvin, and he's just gonna loudly proclaim, I am the slayer of Lord Yum Yum. Any who wish to challenge me may do so. And I brandish my weapons, even though I can't fucking see.
Okay. Alright, as you shout this out, give me an intimidation check, please. As a sort of taunt.
How scary is
Can I substitute charisma for strength?
Sure.
The flex.
The flex, as they say.
He's about to get blindsided by trial.
Bro's gonna look like, hey,
True.
this would be good combat training for
23.
him. 23. As you roar this out, I'm gonna roll something here real quick. Alright. As you roar this out,
Hey,
you hear as the creatures begin to kind of, at first, you hear a bit of a challenge as some roar back, and roll them in. The light back of your hairs, the hairs on the back of your neck start to stand up as you realize these ones are probably bigger than Lord Yum Yam and stronger. As you yell this out, though, with confidence, the creatures seem to, as they roar back and challenge, waiting. As they hear nothing, you begin to hear as they start to trot and run away. The creatures seems to begin distancing themselves, though you're unsure how far away they've gone, but you begin to hear the heavy paw prints kind of rushing off.
Okay.
Alright, that ends your turn. I've got to roll. Kicks his spellcraft. I'm not going to tell you what his bonus is.
Well, you rolled a good on his d20.
Yes, he did, and that is a success. Okay, and he's going to put this in. All right. Dragon's dead. Toad is dead. Sadly, Lord Yum Yum is also dead. Cinder.
I'd like to assist Melvin with my own spellcraft if I'm able.
Yes. Do you have blind sight or anything that would give you vision in magical darkness? Or are you just gonna kind of go based on where you last saw him move over?
I have a very short blind sight, so we're gonna see if that's good enough.
What's the distance for your blind sight?
It is 5 feet.
Okay, so just going where you last saw him. Okay, as you start walking over, what's your movement speed?
Currently 75.
75. Okay. As you begin to walk over, kind of hands out, trying to feel anything and hoping to feel a sign, as you walk over, you finally bump into Rollman, and as Rollman kind of lightly pushes you in the direction towards where Melvin's standing, you begin to take a few more steps, and as you get within 5 feet of him, you kind of lightly feel the back of Melvin's back, as Melvin, I imagine, would probably reply something like, I'm concentrating here.
Yeah. Not now.
As you kind of tap him on the shoulder and finally realize you're right next to it, feeling the very strong arcane energy coming off of from in front of Melvin.
Okay. Melvin won't see it, but he'll hear it. I'm gonna take out my Heart of Ice that I've been carrying.
Okay.
And
Cool.
I begin praying under my breath, and then, like, I'm not actually praying, but that's how I'm doing the spell. And I'm going to start trying to help him shape the words.
Melvin, it suddenly gets like 20 degrees colder around you.
I love it.
Hey, it's a helpful thing.
It's true. And then you're gonna help him. Can you give me a spellcraft roll?
Surprisingly, I think I have the highest spellcraft in the party.
You do.
Roll the big
So it has a 33 sound.
Okay, keep that in mind. Melvin, as Cinder begins to help you, as you feel magic flowing through you, your ability to sense the runes becomes clear, and they begin to move faster as your mind becomes clear and more focused. These letters morph and change at ease as you begin to finish it up. All right, Cinder, that is your movement and your free skill check. Did you want to do anything else?
Nope, I'm just giving it my all to make this happen as fast as possible. We don't have time.
All right, James, jumping over to you. Anything you'd like to do?
I'm going to be using Earth Sense because I'm touching the Earth now, with only a few inches between us.
Digging your feet
walk
into
over,
the snow. Yep.
and I will ask to assist as well, but using Wisdom instead of Intelligence for Spellcraft.
Okay, yeah, I'm down with that. As you walk over, kind of feeling Cinder, like right in front of you, as you step, feeling the cold kind of waft around you, and hearing the light prayer. Between
as I
the
start
three
praying
of you,
to the magic.
As you start praying, Melvin, the circle begins to morph and meld, and because of the two others' help, you begin to sense Jakix down the line is putting a strange name that you recognize almost immediately, as Zebril seems to warn you to not allow this spell to activate, and starts telling you to disrupt it and break the runes. As James ends his turn, Melvin, we jump to you as it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Well, since I was told that, I should probably listen.
I will say, I want to note this. You can't, from what you can tell with the amount of magic and focus right now you have, you're pretty sure you could also force your own effect onto the runes throughout the entire spell circle. In a sense, replicating what you're writing here, if you can get a high enough roll.
And since we're helping out with our spellcrafts, you're going to get a plus 14 and a plus, 16?
Mm-hmm.
Or closer to 19, actually, or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will try to change it and force our magic into it down on his side, too.
Okay, give me a spellcraft check. And you can use this as based on your modifier for your main casting stat, which I assume is intelligence. So
yes.
So that is a 21 plus 14, which is 35 plus Cinder 16. Where is it?
Yeah, so it would be a 30 overall, so 51.
51. As you begin to force your will onto it, Melvin, expelling every magic spell slot you have available, Cinder and James, similarly, you feel your magic draining into Melvin as the runes begin to morph. You hear a shriek and a scream of surprise and then hatred almost in the distance coming, Roman, as you hear or as you feel almost the magic itself. Even with your lack of ability to understand or to have sensed magic, you feel the thickness of it coming through, and as you hear this scream of anger in the distance and hearing it in Jakix's voice, it doesn't take much to realize what's coming. As the entire spell circle begins to glow, the spell circle begins to change, and the names begin to morph all across, saying Alar and Zilpip, and the last couple letters seem to be morphed to Melvin's own will. As it does so, we end the round, and we do... If I roll anything higher than 20, oh my god. The spell circle goes off before Jakix can change it back, and as the names morph, the entire country watches, even as Regan Utham sees this circle begin to glow, and sees his mountain range beginning to glow with these blackened runes. Magic begins to expand out, and as it does so, the circle cracks and shatters out about as you see a massive lightning bolt expand down as the darkness dissipates for only a moment and shatters from this lightning bolt hitting into the center of the magic circle somewhere in the far distance, but being bright enough to light up the sky for miles. As the sky then begins to dissipate and the darkness begins to dissipate, the clouds seem to calm and the stormy blizzard seems to vanish. You lot find yourselves kind of standing there as a few giants come walking through the trees, and you recognize Hroten kind of standing there looking over at you as Regan Utham's right-hand man and basically one of his top guards. With a massive statue massive walking statue right behind him with its blade ready to attack. Hroten looks at you lot and goes, "Please tell me this wasn't you."
No, it wasn't. We were trying to stop it. Oh god, I'm tired.
Altered ritual
James
was revived.
passes out.
Melvin also just collapses.
Are all my spell slots gone too, Roy?
Yes, all three of you have lost all spell slots for the day.
You two, I'll go explain.
I'll look at Hroten and just be like, "We can explain. Just, let's get away from here."
Allow me.
Hroten kind of nods as he looks at you and looks over at Cinder and goes, kind of seeing Rollman covered in blood, and starts shouting for his squad or his knights to come out here.
Can we gather the bodies that we have now too? Oh god. Pointing to the dragon, the fucking beaver, and the goddamn saber tooth.
Hroten kind of just stands there and leans to one side, pulls out a small cigar and kind of lights it and begins to take a deep puff and blows out the smoke and goes, "How about I have a meal brought down and we talk about it while we eat? I want to hear what you guys just did, because this has got to be a hell of a story for me to tell the Regan not to kill you."
Of course.
As we even sent Jakix down here. And I tell you, this statue doesn't activate until he's here, so...
I look at him down the eye and goes, He was interfering.
He's probably not very happy right now.
He seemed quite angry at the end.
I'll look at Cinder weakly. He tried to change the spell.
I figured.
Well, let's hope we actually managed to get it off with the names we put in instead of the original. Ooh.
Hroten looks at you.
Let's you guys take a break.
You lot weren't part of that giant resurrection spell, were you? That wasn't you.
We weren't casting it, no, but we were trying to stop it from going off.
Good to hear it didn't go off, because, God, this, from what we were able to gather, whoever was resurrected by it would be sent to Abaddon immediately. Terrible fucking spell.
Men, out of game, Demon Lord Alar. He comes from
well, we managed to change the name because I don't know. We didn't know resurrecting or where it was going, the entirety of it, so. We couldn't stop it in time.
He kind of nods, and as he looks at you, and kind of as troops begin to flow through the trees. As they do so, he looks at you and just seems to just smile and goes, "Oh, the good news is from what it sounds like, you guys might be heroes, and the Regan's gonna be very proud to meet you."
At that word, James just looks depressed.
I've never gotten a hero before. That sounds fun.
Heroes? Man, we were just looking for some saber-tooths.
We had some adventurers that came through here that were horrible with their news. The unfortunate sons were terrible. As the troops begin to flow through, and you watch as a few begin to bring medics come start stepping in. Some clerics begin to step through. And
we're becoming the balancing act. We bring good news.
as
in good news, there's the leader of the Sabertooths around here, or at least what the beaver said was the leader.
as you
There was
kind of
a lot more of them.
was Roman mentioned that Roman kind of nods and goes, "All right, let me." And he as he points to a guard and like gives them an order, shouting to them and telling them to go get food. He goes, "Let me at the table set. Let's eat and let's hear this full thing. I want to hear everything of what happened because I'm gonna have to report this." And as you see his guards begin to kind of flow through, bringing in food, setting a table, he sits down to hear what happened, and that's where we're going to end today's session. We thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed. And this session was sponsored by, not at all sponsored, by the funniest song I've ever randomly found, Yum Yam Yan Hammerpaw. Please go look it up if you haven't. It's a great song. Take care.